This is a regular meeting of the City of Callaway Board of Commissioners. It is Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. It's 6 p.m. If y'all would stand with me, Commissioner Pelletier will do the invocation. Commissioner Ayers, please lead us in the pledge.
Lord, we thank you for our gathering today, and we pray for your guidance in making decisions for our city and citizens. We thank you for our first responders, and we ask you bless them and their families. Please keep them safe and let them go home at the end of their shift. We thank you for our citizens and employees. They make Callaway a great place to live, and we pray you bless them with peace and success. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk, please do a roll call.
Commissioner Birdsall.
Here.
Commissioner Grigg.
Here.
Commissioner Pelletier.
Here.
Commissioner Ayers.
Here, ma'am.
Mayor Henderson.
Here. Okay, we have a presentation tonight. Tim McGill, would you like to come up and do the honors?
Mayor and Commissioners, I'd like to introduce you to our LAX FC Football Club. It's a first for Callaway. We've been working with them, I guess, a little over a year, but they are a semi-pro football club, and they're also putting together pro teams currently. So I'll let Sacklin get up and tell you a little bit about it, and he'd like to make a presentation to the Commission. So.
Thank you, Tim. Good evening, everyone, Mayor, Commissioner, and all those in attendance.
Would you speak in the mic so everybody can hear you?
Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor,
Thank you.
and all those in attendance. Thank you for having us first and foremost. It's an absolute pleasure. My family and I, we moved there about 2 years ago. We fell in love with this city, and you know, sometime against my will, my wife forced me to stay here, but I fell in love with it too. We came here with a vision. We had just the idea of creating a first semi-pro team and a professional team for men's and women, and we pitched that idea, and Callaway took us in. We made it our home, and today we stand as the first and only semi-professional team and professional soccer team in Callaway. It's also a first for Callaway. No neighboring city has this setup. We have a full professional team, a full semi-professional team, both men and women. Last year we represented Callaway all the way in Arkansas, Oklahoma Division, which fortunately for us, it was our debut season, and we had major success, finishing second in the entire regular season, and also making it to playoffs. Unfortunately, I don't know what this is in Fahrenheit, but we went and played in -6 degrees over in Arkansas. And unfortunately, our Florida boys could not manage that at all. And so we took home second place, but it's still such great accomplishment, especially in our debut season. You know, you guys welcome us in your city. As a foreigner myself, and you showed us nothing but love and belief. You know, our slogan for a women's team, it says, for those who believe. Unfortunately, we were welcome in a city that believed in us, that helped us to it, and have this amazing partnership. For us, this is not just Callaway providing a soccer field for us. This is much more, it's much deeper than that. It's the people that come out here every day and help us, that cheer for us. I mean, we planned our first game, and we were expecting about 15 to 20 people, and I counted, and by the day finished we had about 200 to 300 people come through. So a massive success for us. It goes beyond soccer as well. I mean, we did our first partnership with the City of Callaway for Christmas in Callaway, where we gave away over 200 toys to kids, and it was such a beautiful event. You know, everyone again embraced us, and we're happy for our part that we could play in this wonderful city. We love this city with everything else. You know, we've had now players coming in from all over the world, from England, from Italy, from Jamaica, from Antigua, from Ghana, from Cayman, most of whom even represent their national team. That's the attraction now that we're bringing into the city, and that is because, again, the city, according to our logo, our slogan, sorry, for those who believe, they believed in us, you believed in us, every single one of you. I'm just meeting somebody for the first time, but I know you guys support us, and that's what's happening now for us. I don't want to focus too much on international. Just locally here, I mean, Callaway Youth have an amazing soccer program, and this just complements it. Now they have a semi-pro outlet and a professional outlet, and we've started with that already. Our very own local talent, Hayden Hosburn, which we picked up from recreational over in Callaway, and he now serves as a semi-professional player on our team, playing and training with us and making appearances. He's now officially registered with US Soccer, have a FIFA ID and everything. So now when I spoke to parents when I initially moved to America, and I asked, like, why don't we have a soccer team in Callaway? What's going on? Why do you stop at high school? And almost every parent said to me, they just can't afford to move to Orlando because that's where the soccer is. And now proudly today, we as a city, we have a semi-pro and a professional team where they can go all the way. Today I have with me one of our most valuable players with a worth of over $4 million Jamaican dollars, and we've attracted him in the city as well. He's 25 years old. He's played professionally for over 6 years now, so he's been a professional since he was 19 years old. He started with us down in Jamaica. He played for 5 years in the Jamaican Premier League. He went to England for a season and played with Atherton FC. He went to Belize for tryout, and in the end, he chose to come here to our home, the city of Callaway, to live and play with us and continue to develop this sport. Again, it's just an amazing, amazing pleasure. I think I say to Tim and Caleb probably every day, there's no words to describe the gratitude that we have. There's no words at all, for a city to embrace us, for our community to embrace us. Again, as outsiders, as we are, we moved to America, we moved here, we moved to this city, and the love that we've gotten, everyone cherishes us as if we were born here, we were raised here. That's the community that we've had, even with our parents or athletes. Everyone just has this amazing embrace and this amazing love. And this is what we want to continue to develop with Callaway. Not only just saying that we have a semi-pro team, not only saying we have a professional team, but actually providing actual pathways for our youth in Callaway. Fortunately for us, we've been doing this for over 10 years with offices in 4 countries, in England, in Canada, in Jamaica, and now in the United States. And I can say without a doubt, and my wife can confirm that this is our favorite location. She does not want to leave. I'm like, let's go back to England. 2 years ago, she would not go. And now I love it just as much. I wake up every morning just dying to come out here to train, to play, to meet these beautiful people. Just the support has been absolutely amazing. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for your support. This time I'll ask our professional player, Trevon Solomon, to come up with his signed jersey, which I hope you guys accept and find valuable, and hopefully someday we can auction it off if you want to and provide it back to the city. Trevon, and if we I don't know if we can get the mayor and some of the commissioners down, or we put it out there. If you guys don't mind, I'm asking you to just come around so we can present it to you guys and have some photographs.
It's elected people.
We want everyone.
In the middle, maybe.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take his space.
And just closer to the okay.
We'll ask our coach to come in as well. Please.
Thank you so much.
I can tell you, I came out to I think the first game that they played here in Callaway. I admit, I don't know very much about soccer, but it looked like they really knew what they were doing, and there were a lot of people out here to watch them. So yes, it's as popular as he said, and I know right now soccer is that's the sport that everybody's interested in. So thank you for what you did for our city at Christmas in Callaway, and thank you for choosing Callaway.
Yeah.
Okay, we do have a proclamation now that I'd like to read into the record. I was asked to present something, there's an event that they're having in Panama City on July 2nd, and I was asked to prepare a proclamation. This is City of Callaway proclamation recognizing the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. Whereas on July 4th, 2026, the United States of America commemorates the 250th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration of Independence, marking 2.5 centuries of liberty, self-government, and the enduring principles upon which our nation was founded. And whereas this historic semi-quincentennial celebration honors the courage, vision, and sacrifices of the generations of Americans who have worked to preserve and strengthen our democratic institutions and constitutional freedoms. And whereas the 250th anniversary provides an opportunity to reflect upon our nation's history, recognize the contributions of all Americans, and inspire future generations to participate in civic life and uphold the ideals of freedom, quality, and opportunity. And whereas the City of Callaway is proud to be part of the American story and recognizes the importance of fostering civic pride, community engagement, and respect for our shared heritage. And whereas the City of Callaway encourages all residents to participate in commemorative events, learn about our nation's history, and celebrate the values that unite us as Americans. And whereas July 4th, 2026 marks 250 years since the Declaration of Independence established the United States as a free and independent nation. Now, therefore, I, Pam Henderson, Mayor of the City of Callaway, Florida, do hereby recognize and celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America and encourage all citizens to join in honoring this historic milestone and recommit themselves to the principles of liberty, democracy, and service that have guided our nation for 250 years. And now we will go on to, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
We do not.
Okay, and public participation rules, people can speak on any agenda item or all of the agenda items if they so choose. The process is you'll raise your hand to be recognized. Once you're recognized, come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record if you so choose, and then your 3 minutes start. That's it, you can speak on each item. At the end of the meeting, if there's something that's not an agenda item that you want to speak about, same process, and when you're recognized, if you state your name and address, and then your 3 minutes start that you can speak about whatever it is that was not on the agenda. So with all that, we will go on to approval of the minutes. We have the minutes of the June 9th, 2026 regular meeting. And I believe, Ashley, you had a comment to make.
Yes, I realized that under the motion for the approval of minutes, it said to approve the minutes of June 9th, 2026. It should have been June 12th. That has been corrected in the official minutes.
May 12th.
May 12th, yes, I'm sorry. May 12th.
So, did anybody have anything else? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval as amended.
Motion to approve the amended minutes as amended for the June 9th meeting.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And you see we do have the financials for April and May. I know if you had any questions on those, that Mr. Adam would be glad to address those with you if you just want to get in touch with him. And we will go on to our agenda. Our first item, ordinance 1132, City of Callaway 2065 Comprehensive Plan Update, final reading, and we do need to open a public meeting, or a public hearing for this item. So, City Manager, would you like to, oh, I'm sorry, do we need to? Yes.
Yeah, turn it first.
Yes, that's what I've forgotten, I was turning to
All right,
him.
this is our public hearing, final reading of ordinance number 1132, an ordinance amending the comprehensive plan of the City of Callaway, specifically to adopt city-initiated amendments pursuant to section 163.3184 Florida statutes, update goals, objectives, and policies of the future land use, transportation, housing, infrastructure, coastal management, conservation, recreation, and open space, intergovernmental coordination, economic and capital improvements elements of the comprehensive plan, and two, to update the future land use map series, providing for severability, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, now, City Manager.
Okay. If y'all remember, we did a workshop on this, made some changes, brought it back. We went through those. I do have Ray Greer in the audience that can speak to this. He sent it to the state reviewed, they came back, they are in agreement with it, and so it is presented to y'all as it was presented at the last meeting. If y'all have any questions, I can get Mr. Ray to get up and answer them.
I have one question. Have we bounced HR Bill 391 against what we're doing?
Ray, come on to the podium.
Because there's some major changes coming in that bill.
Well, and we, of course, the comp plan as we have it today has to be
I understand
addressed, the
that.
items that we currently have, statute-wise. But, we also have, as we talked about during our workshops, we have Senate Bill 180, which is now part of the laws of Florida, which will, set to expire, and we will have to make changes after that to address those. I do have, those changes put together. But they will be, there is some changes, coming, the potential changes, through the session that could change some of the comp plan in the future requirements.
Well, a lot of it went into effect in March. So some of that stuff that went into effect, hopefully won't come in front of us, but some of it are, pretty, I guess, to the benefit of the developer in relationship to what we've been doing. So I just want to make sure as we go forward that we don't delay those changes so this board doesn't get in trouble because we violate what's in the HR.
And some of it's in the land development regulations too.
Right.
The changes will have to occur in the land development regulations, not the comp plan.
So we're going to make changes.
As needed, we will make changes,
Okay, all
yes. Yeah, we won't
Fluid
wait.
document.
Yeah. And like I said, with the Senate Bill 180, as it changes and modifies, we'll come back and bring that as soon as we get more
And it
information on
will
it.
expire. Senate Bill 180 will expire after 2027.
Okay?
Anybody else have questions for Mr. Greer?
Now, has this already been approved with the state?
Yes. So this, after our series of workshops that we did in the spring, and then our transmittal hearing, this went to the state, this went to the Florida Department of Commerce, who's the state land planning agency, went to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Florida Department of Transportation, Florida Department of State, Florida Department of Education, and the Northwest Florida Water Management District, and the Emerald Coast Regional Plan Council. So they are the reviewing agencies for the state on comprehensive plans. They reviewed and provided no objections. Department of Environmental Protection had one comment. They were looking for an item associated with a change that has occurred recently. It's actually in the data analysis. We showed them where that was, and they were okay with that. And then the other item was the Department of Commerce had a comment asking for us to put the short-term plan horizon, which is 10 years in, which is 2036, in the actual comp plans in the data analysis. So we moved it up and put it in the first section, the first goal that is in the future land use element. We had it in there as 2046, and then we added 2036 for the short-term, 10-year plan horizon. That was the only, and there were just comments, not objections. But that was the only thing. Nobody else had any issues.
Ray, there's one area in here, and a bunch of areas that are marked, but the one area I'd like to comment on, because we've had quite a bit of discussion about it, is the capacity of the roads. When we approve a development, the capacity of the roads. And it's pretty clear in the comprehensive plans we're talking about that when we look at approving these, that to actually read what it is, ensure that the development does not exceed the capacity of the hurricane evacuation and shelters. Well, we get into that when we get into development orders. And we have areas out there now that people are concerned about transportation issues, which makes it more important that we look at these in a long-term, on a long-term basis, which we're doing. And particularly out on Highway 22 where we know where we're going. There was some criticism of us bringing up, for example, the Parkway, because the Parkway is part of the long-range plan that handles some of the evacuation. We have some other roads out there. I think Callaway, the road Callaway is we're looking to extending that. No plan on it now, but that would be one of those areas that probably come to you and other engineering companies concerning extending that road on out to 231, and everybody recognizing that 231 all the way to Highway 20 is planned to be 6-lane. So when we're looking, we're not worried about water, on Highway 22. We are worried about wind and hurricane
Evacuation. Yeah.
and evacuation, may be north or east or west. And so that's just one of the many items in the comprehensive plan that Bill and we in the planning department and all that, and you as an engineer have to look at. And it's in there. So just want to point that out. That's just one of many things that have been brought up that's actually resolved in here, or something that we have to look at every time we make a decision. All 100 and some odd pages worth.
Yes. And implementing the TPO's long-range transportation plan too.
Right.
Of course, the city coordinates with the TPO on that, and, some of those items are addressed in the comprehensive plan.
And it's mentioned in here that we look at that on a 5-year basis, which we are now with the TPO. And it's, by the time a lot of these developments get in, to the point that we have to look at that, that will be part of our 5-year plan within the TPO. So
Okay.
that's it.
Anybody else?
No.
Anything? No?
Thank you.
Okay, if there's nothing else from commission, did anybody in the audience want to comment? Yes, ma'am?
So part of that HB 399 that Bob asked about concerns the school interlocal agreements with Callaway. And I know it is not in that comp plan because it said we have one with the schools, but part of that HB 399 says that this interlocal agreement has to be written so that it gives the schools easement to city property for any, whatever, accessibility or repairs or something like that. So I'm wondering, what is the plan to get that updated? And also, some of this does take effect now concerning development applications, denying proposals, residential dwellings that are allowed on the property, and I do believe some of that is in this comp plan. So I'm wondering, does the city have a plan to review HB 399 And I know our city manager said it's gonna be as needed, but some of this is needed now. Part of this went into effect March 27th, and then another part comes in January the 1st. So, what's the plan to make sure that we are meeting the state requirements for this HB 399?
Is that something that you can address, Ms. Greer?
So again, a lot of that is land development regulations. They're done through, a lot of what she just mentioned has to be done through the land development regulations. The interlocal agreement, the city has an interlocal agreement with the Bay County School Board. Each city in Bay County has an agreement. You know, the city will have to come together with the school board and amend the agreement to address it. And I would assume it would be done, just like when the agreements were put in place, it would be done with all the cities. You go in at the same time to get that done, that language, if they want that in there. But that is something, you know, that just in that interlocal agreement. As I mentioned before, the school concurrency, which we took out of the comp plan, was taken out of Chapter 163 Florida statute, so it's no longer required. Your school agreements are, and those interlocal agreements that you have, those are required, and they remain in place.
But they have to be updated too.
Yes, and they have to be updated.
And we're gonna look at it, but when are we gonna look at it?
That's up to you.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
something
up
like
to you.
the school board and all the cities, they'll circulate a whole new interlocal, like I said, we have one that's old with all the cities.
Real old.
Right, so the school board and the cities will circulate a whole new interlocal agreement. But that has nothing to do with the comp plan necessarily, but like I said,
exactly.
it'll be part of the LDR, the new interlocal agreement that'll come forward in coordination with the school board and the other cities and us.
I can reach out to Mark McQueen and see if he has any desire to look at the updates yet, because when he does one, he's gonna have to do them all.
Yes.
Oh, that's what'll happen, yeah, it'll be all
Yeah, I'll reach out
one
to
big
Mark
document with all the
just to
cities
see
on
if
it.
he's got that on his radar.
Thank you.
Did anybody else want to comment? I'm not missing anybody, am I? I don't think so, okay. Well, gentlemen, would somebody like to make a motion on this item?
Motion to approve ordinance 1132, City of Callaway 2065 Comprehensive Plan Update, final reading.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second.
I have a question here before we do that. Was this comprehensive plan 2040?
It's
It's-
2045.
2045.
Okay, so we need to change that. So,
46.
Is it 24?
2046?
I don't know where the
think it was
2065 came from at the
46.
top of the summary form, but it is 2046 down at the bottom for the motion.
Oh, this is in the summary, yeah, it's 2046.
Yes.
When we started this, it was 2025, and so the comp plan has to plan out 20 years, so it was 2045, but then we carried into 2026. So we went back and changed everything, data analysis to 2046.
Right, 2046, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's 2046.
all right.
The
So I'll read-
65 at the top was just a complete typo, my
Okay,
fault.
no problem. I'll repeat. Ordinance number 1132, City of Callaway 2046 Comprehensive Plan Update, final reading. And second.
So now we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Anything else from anybody? No. City Clerk?
Commissioner Birdsall?
Yes.
Commissioner Griggs?
Yes.
Commissioner Pelletier?
Yes.
Commissioner Ayers?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Henderson?
Yes. We will close the public hearing, and we'll go on to our regular agenda. Item number 2, variance from the City of Callaway Code of Ordinances, 535 North Tyndall Parkway. City Manager.
Mr. Fry?
So Palmetto Capital Group LLC, on behalf of the property owner, has requested a variance from the City of Callaway's Code of Ordinances at the address at 535 North Tyndall Parkway. In short, a drive-through only or a vehicle repair maintenance shop. They are in the prohibited listed for our overlay district.
which is Town Center, District Number 1, which is the most restrictive. Mr. Jeremy Anderson of Palmetto Group is here tonight to give a presentation. I believe he'll answer most of your questions. I just want to state that on May 19th, the planning board did hear this, and they voted unanimously to deny. But like I said, Mayor Jeremy Anderson is here tonight. He is prepared to give a presentation with your permission.
Yes.
Bill, you said or, is it and? Do they want to do both?
Technically, they're asking for 4 different variances from our LDR. The first 2 are, without the first 2, there's really no reason to talk about the second 2. So the drive-through onlys are not allowed in District 1. If you remember, we've had variance requests for that before, and we've had other variance requests in the overlay before, not for necessarily for auto repair, but auto repair is one of the prohibited uses.
So they're asking for variance for both.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The presentation is going to be on the monitors in front of you, and the audience will be able to see it on the screens.
Good evening. I am not Jeremy Anderson. I'm Mike Burke with the law firm of Burke Blue. I'm here just to introduce Mr. Anderson. I am the local counsel for the Palmetto Capital Group. With me tonight is Jeff Lazenby, who is with Palmetto Capital, representing the developer of the proposed project. And Mr. Anderson is going to get up in a moment here and speak to you regarding the changes that they've suggested in the proposed development that will answer the questions and the concerns that were raised by the planning board to make this area compatible with the uses that they're seeking to do. It was interesting that you just approved your comprehensive plan for the coming 20 years to 2046. And in that comprehensive plan, there is an element there in the future land use element that is 1.5.1, and it's regarding the redevelopment of blighted areas. And this falls within your CRA, and it is in a blighted area. And if you're familiar with this piece of property, it's vacant with some buildings on it that aren't necessarily attractive for redevelopment use or redevelopment of the area. Some may call them blight. I wouldn't necessarily say that out loud, but you might call it that. And then as I drove in this afternoon to come to your meeting, there was a food truck sitting on that property. And so the development that's proposed here is something that will be a Dutch Brothers coffee and a Firestone repair, complete auto repair and tire sales. And it will, I believe once you see the presentation, you'll understand why it will meet some of the criteria of 1.51, which addresses the redevelopment. States that the main objectives of that comprehensive plan element are to eliminate adverse effects of blighted areas, strengthen the tax base in the CRA, create an environment conducive to investment and maximum feasible participation by private enterprise in the redevelopment. And additionally, the plan that's proposed for you for this particular piece will further the strategic plan of the CRA by creating and implementing design standards and guidelines. You'll see the proposed standards, the buildings that will be placed on that property. I think you'll agree that they're an improvement certainly over what is there right now. Infrastructure improvement by supporting the stormwater development and sidewalks that are required, which are specifically mentioned in this part of your comprehensive plan, within your CRA strategic plan, is to have sidewalks that will help to connect the area, which is the mixed-use zone to the north of this particular district, and then the South Tyndall Parkway zone. You have in your strategic plan specific elements regarding connectivity through sidewalks, which this will accomplish. And at this time, I'm going to sit down and let Mr. Anderson come up and walk you through the changes that we believe address the concerns that were expressed by the planning board, and that will hopefully get you to the point where we'll be able to approve this project this evening. Thank you.
Good evening. Jeremy Anderson with Common Oak Engineering. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, Madam Mayor, Commissioners, Thank you for your time and consideration of our request. I'm going to take you through a presentation. I'll try to keep it relatively short, but I want to touch on some of the concerns raised by the planning board and discuss how we've addressed those concerns. I'm going to walk through the site plan and show elements of the comp plan as well as planning strategies that the plan meets. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the uses just so you can be familiar with exactly what we're proposing to do. So with the first slide, we just have the location here. It's 535 North Tyndall Parkway. It's located just roughly 650 feet south of 7th Street. If you don't mind going to the next slide. Thank you. This is the site plan. There's a lot to talk about on this site plan. The parent tract is a 2.19 acre parcel proposed to be split to a little over an acre for the Dutch Bros and a little over 2 acres for the Firestone. Some of the planning board's concerns were safety, like traffic safety, and stacking for the facility. So in regard to like public safety for means of access from the state road, we're already working with FDOT. We've already got a transportation study done. Transportation study is showing an acceptable level of service. We have a concept of road improvements that we're showing on this plan. And of course, we intend to, working with FDOT as well as the City of Callaway, implement those road improvements. Once again, a right turn lane and consideration of a left turn lane. They're right there at the Domino's, which is just to the south. From a stacking perspective, Dutch Bros has quite a lot of facilities. They're big on meeting all of their requirements from a site layout perspective as well as for stacking. They require 18 cars stacked. That's their maximum that they see at these locations. We exceed that amount of stacking. And also Dutch Bros is unique in not only in the product that they serve. It's not a standard coffee shop, which I'll get into that in a minute. So there's a quicker turnaround on the product. And also they use runners, so their employees go out and greet the customer in the queue, take their order in person. So there's no speaker boxes or anything like that. They take the order and walk from customer to customer in the queue lane. So in regard to the CRA and other important planning elements, shared access is an important part of that. So as you can see here, we have a shared access between the Firestone and the Dutch Bros, with cross-access shown across that shared access, not only between Dutch Bros and Firestone, but also to the Domino's to the south. So that's actually a requirement that we need to make to meet the, I think this is the North Tyndall requirements. I may be wrong about that, but I do understand the cross-access, yeah. So it is the North Tyndall requirements, so we do meet those requirements. In the CRA, the pedestrian access is, and also in the North Tyndall and the overlay, the pedestrian access is really important. We have pedestrian access to the state road with cross-access between the Firestone and the Dutch Bros. And we're also add cross-access stubbed on the Dutch Bros property, to the southern end as well. So we have a mixture of uses, right? So there's going to be like a Firestone customer might come and they think, I've been putting off getting this done on my car. I need to get that fixed. And you know what? I can walk next door and I can sit underneath the porch and have a beverage or a snack. And I can get into a little bit more of that in a moment. Again, we have on-site stormwater management. I'm going to get into the high-quality architectural elements that we are proposing to do. And that's it. So thank you. Next slide, please. So the requests are, there is no indoor seating on the Dutch Bros. It is, so there's two ways to get your the product when you get there, when you come through, is through the drive-through, but it's also from the pedestrian, which again is another important aspect of the overlay requirement, is having that pedestrian access. And I'll get into that in a little bit. So there's the drive-through component. Again, there's no interior space for the customer. And then there's a front door concept also that is required as well. We can put a door on there, it just won't be accessible, it won't be able to open, it'll be a locked door. We can I'll get into that a little bit more. And of course, for the Firestone, we have the use itself for automotive repair. And then the second request associated with that is they have tires that they roll out during business hours. It's just, on a roller, and it's like, it shows the product, which is a tire there right next to the building. So those are the requests for you tonight. So the next slide, please. So this slide is, I'm going to focus on the Dutch Bros. This shows the pedestrian walk-up window. It also, our building is not going to match this exactly. This is just a concept. It's going to have similar architectural standards, but again, it shows the pedestrian can walk up to the window to get served, and then also we're proposing a porch with outdoor seating. So while we don't have indoor seating, which is the reason why we're here, we have outdoor seating for the customer. We talked about pedestrian window. Aesthetic quality would enhance architectural features, meeting or exceeding the overlay district requirements. I talked a little bit more about the human runner system, where the employees come to the customer, or to the drive-through to take orders. I talked about the door and outdoor seating as well. So next slide, please. So Dutch Bros is experiencing significant growth, particularly in Florida. And so why is that? It's because they offer a very unique blend of products and services that really set it apart from just like a Starbucks or another type of a coffee shop. Just going down the line here, they have an energy lineup, which is they call the Blue Rebel. They have espresso and a bread drink. They have different freezes, which is blended coffee, cold brews and nitro, and they offer breakfast sandwiches and wraps. And they don't only offer caffeinated beverages, they also have non-caffeinated beverages as well. Next slide, please. Dutch Bros gives back to the community. They write here that we partner with our customers year-round and make a massive positive difference, focusing on efforts on youth and young adults in the communities we serve. Throughout the year, we host fun-filled company-wide give-back days to support causes close to our hearts. The Dutch Bros Foundation donates $1 for every drink sold on these days directly to the organizations in need. And from a local community perspective, we empower our shops to host local events for organizations making a massive difference close to home. From monetary support to dedicated volunteer time, it's all about showing up for the community. Next slide, please. This is a conceptual rendering of the Firestone. The Firestone that we would propose looks very similar to this from an architectural perspective. We have some site-specific mitigation measures designed to integrate the automotive services into the overlay district, from enhanced landscaping and sound attenuating building orientation of the service bays facing north and south and not toward the Parkway, North Tyndall Parkway. The front office where the customers will enter the store or is located and directly addressing the North Tyndall Parkway. And it's also important to note that the work is performed 100% within the building. They do not allow overnight storage of vehicles in the parking area, so that is something that I feel is really important. Next slide, please. Okay, quick history here. Firestone has been around for 100 years. In 1926, Firestone operates as a massive player in the automotive world. This is straight from their website, where they're manufacturing premium tires and running the largest network of company-owned auto repair shops in the world. Their locations employ thousands of ASE certified technicians who handle everyday vehicle maintenance, oil changes, brake repairs, wheel alignments, and so forth. So Firestone has been around for a long time. They employ, again, thousands of people. Next slide, please. Firestone itself provides a unique service, and we all drive a vehicle that service is needed. This is a state-of-the-art building with, again, ASE certified technicians. the architectural elements are going to meet or exceed the overlay district requirements, but those essential services they provide help ensure road safety with tire, brake, and alignment services. They service the immediate community in which they are located with these services. They create jobs, of course, and they have a recycling program as well for the tires that they do. Next slide, please. So this is where it's a little bit more fun for me. They also do a lot of charity work, and they contribute to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Since the partnership, Firestone and Bridgestone has raised nearly $30 million for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. An interesting fact is they donate vans to the girls and boys clubs. And they actually take the kids on field trips, career days, job interviews, and college tours using those vans. And they also help service them also once giving them to the Boys and Girls Clubs. Next slide, please. They also contribute to the Wounded Warrior Project. They frequently run initiatives where a direct percentage of local consumer purchases, often up to 15%, is pooled together locally and donated to support veterans and military families living right within those same communities. In June 2025, BSRO donated $100,000 to the Wounded Warrior Project after a 2-week campaign. So one of the other questions the planning board had, well, the ones we've addressed were like public safety for driveway access and stacking. Like, how is this going to work? How is the Dutch Bros going to work? And I hope I've addressed that question. If you have any questions about that, just please let me know. From one of the other questions that the planning board had was related to like, why here? You know, and so both Dutch Bros and Firestone they've identified this site as a place where they feel they will be successful and service the community. And they did an extensive analysis which included a review of surrounding businesses, demographic data, mobility patterns within the community, traffic counts, and sales analysis as well. So basically the site selection analysis is based off like proven data. Again, Firestone has been in business for 100 years, and so they have a really good feel for the locations that they want to be. I think that's important. I'm sorry about focusing on that just because what I'm trying to explain what sets the Firestone apart. The Dutch Bros, I feel like what sets them apart is again the product that they offer. It differs significantly from some other coffee shops that may be in the area. Next slide, please. So this is somewhat of a recap. I think we've covered a lot of these things, but what I wanted to get back to is like, why are we here today? Both uses are permitted uses in the zoning category. We're here before you today because of the overlay restriction, right? And specifically with the Dutch Bros, it's not having a drive-through without indoor. I guess it's indoor seating, but we are proposing outdoor seating. So we are proposing seating, and again, a service window for pedestrians to walk up to the building and get their order taken. So I feel like that does address the overlay by providing outdoor seating and for addressing the pedestrian, which are both two very large components of that overlay district requirement. The other item is not having a customer access into the interior of the building. They just don't. It's not a building that has any space for the customer. It's only employees in there. It's a smaller building. It's only 987 square feet. And then for the next slide is the Firestone. Again, I think we've covered a lot of this as well. The variance request, again, Firestone is a permitted use in the zoning category. The variance request is related to the overlay and is for automotive repair. I do feel the Firestone is unique. I know that the building is state of the art. I know that the building will meet the architectural overlay requirements or exceed them. And again, we've already touched on those other really important things that we meet, like shared driveway access, cross access, pedestrian access, on-site stormwater management. So I hope that presentation wasn't too long, but we had feedback from the planning board, and we wanted to make sure that we would address those questions that they had and those concerns. So thank you so much.
Could I ask a question? I know you talked about providing jobs. Do you know how many jobs each of those businesses would provide?
I don't know that I know exactly how many
Okay.
they are. I don't know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Did anybody else have any questions for the gentleman?
I think I'm good. I've heard.
Well, I don't know as much of a question, but as a comment. Firestone, or the business, the coffee business, I have no problem with the companies that are involved. However, the overlay district, and this is what you're asking for, is change that. Well, what you're asking for, particularly with the Firestone, we have an overlay district that accepts that. You know, there are other areas that have that. So we're not against Firestone or that particular business, but in that particular overlay, very honestly, back in 2005 and 2006, when we did the CRA, we looked at that. This is not the type of business that we really wanted on the Tyndall Parkway. And this is the property that y'all have. I wish you had property on Highway 22 and do the same thing, because that's where the overlay, would really love to have you, that type of thing. As Bill had mentioned, we've had drive-throughs that we've turned down, and one many years ago. We still have the coastal drive-through teller out there that is no good, obviously, because it doesn't meet the requirement of that particular overlay. You put a bank there, fine, but they just put a teller location there. So between that, going back in history, and what has taken place, particularly with this board and other boards prior to us, it's just hadn't been approved. So, that being said, it's obvious where my feelings are on this.
Well, with the Dutch Bros specifically, and I've used their products before out west, the drive-through only doesn't meet it. Having outdoor seating, I think, does make that intent. The Firestone is kind of like Mr. Griggs says, it goes against everything that we have set in order on there.
The cross-parcel access that you're, and when we lay out a plan like we did many years ago, there are businesses now that don't meet necessarily that plan. They're non-conforming. When that business changed, then, because we have some businesses that don't have the cross-parcel access is 25 feet beyond the easement. So you're looking at almost 40 feet before you can start a building, start your process there. So, but you do meet that all in your plan. You do meet these requirements. It's just the wrong business, so.
I'd like to disagree if I can, and I respect your opinion. I think Callaway needs to be pro-jobs, and we do have a Goodyear, and we do have a Pep Boys, and we do have 2 other coffee shops on this same strip. So I think if we denied it, we're kind of talking against what's already in existence there and something that we should allow. I think that, I don't know how many jobs are produced, but I would think that one would be at least 10 to 15 jobs, the coffee shop, and the Firestone maybe up to 30 to 40 jobs, because they have to have mechanics, receptionists, and all those things. So I think I would like to see us approve it. I think the competition is good. Goodyear and Pep Boys needs a little competition, and I think Firestone would give them that. And the coffee shops on the opposite side of the street versus the other coffee shops. So it may not be competition to those guys at all because of their location. So that's my thoughts.
Well, I don't disagree with you on that. The citizens have stated numerous times, they don't want another coffee shop, they don't want another car wash, another gas station, another repair shop. Like, the things they're proposing are the things the citizens have said, we don't want these things.
Anyone else?
I don't disagree with the analysis, however, this property's been sitting empty now for, what, 10 years, city manager?
At least.
As long as
I don't see Nexite getting in front of the line and bringing anybody else in. You know what I'm saying is that we keep on,
We'll do public in a bit.
you know, we have nobody knocking down our doors saying, oh man, we want to put our business in here, okay? I understand the overlay, I understand all that, I understand what Commissioner's saying, I understand what you're saying too, okay? Seven Brew is drive-through only. Have you been down there? Have you been down Seven Brew? I mean, that place is packed to the gills, and it's drive-through only. It's just down the street for where we're talking about, you know? I have mixed emotions about the whole thing for the simple fact that this property is going nowheres. Next site that we pay, you know, many dollars for, is not stepped up, say, okay, here's a business we can put in on this property. They've done zero, you know. Matter of fact, next site hasn't done much anything for Callaway for a few years. So,
Next site is no longer under contract. Their contract
they
issued.
expired now? Okay.
Yeah, that
So-
that contract is
Right,
expired.
so that's what I'm saying.
And
is
I will
that
say this much, that property was never listed with Next site.
It was never listed with them?
We can't list a property that the property owner doesn't agree
Right,
they want
okay.
it listed.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what Mr. Phillips, they used to own the property, I don't know who owns it now, but we call it the Phillips property,
Correct.
you know.
Yeah, John Phillips.
Yeah. It was it was inquired about in the beginning, but he was
Right.
not, he did not, at the time, he was not interested in selling.
And Seven Brew that you brought up, that's in Parker, it's not in Callaway.
I understand that, but when we talk about we're talking about drive-through, okay? And I know the citizens don't want another coffee shop, they don't want another car wash, but what are we gonna do with the property? What are we gonna bring in? What kind of jobs are we gonna bring into Callaway? You know, we talked about all the jobs that were gonna be created at Beacon Point 2 years ago. Eventually, that's gonna come to fruition, you know, eventually that's gonna come. But what are we doing to try to bring a business that meets our requirements into that piece of property? You know? So I have mixed emotions about it. I know that the citizens will give me hell because of what I'm saying, you know, but what else is going in here? We got tax revenue coming in off of this. We got jobs, probably 30, 40 jobs being created
At least.
that we don't have.
So,
There's not a lot, of course, Walmart's the largest employer in Callaway
yeah.
and the largest employer of the sheriff department.
Yeah. And when you say citizens district, how many citizens are you talking about?
I get
You
beat
know,
up.
you, maybe
I'm
10,
with you,
15
though.
vocal citizens,
I'd
but
much rather have this nice-looking businesses
Exactly.
on that property than it sit there, because like you said, people aren't beating our doors down wanting to put something on that
Right.
piece of property, so,
Our citizens want jobs, okay? And I know they don't want a coffee shop, I already know that, I'll get beat up for that, you know? And I know we do have a Firestone down the street, I guess, which is not affiliated with corporate, it must be a local.
no, we have a good
Good,
Goodyear.
I thought it was
Good.
part of Firestone,
Firestone.
it's good, yeah.
No, Goodyear.
the Firestone went out of,
Excuse me.
Well,
it's not there anymore.
Yeah, right.
and I'm
that was-
sure these gentlemen that want to open these businesses have done their homework, and they feel like the business is there. They wouldn't build a business if they didn't think they'd have customers. So, you know, if they want to make the investment,
They're making the investment, it's their money, they're putting the building
Exactly.
in, has nothing to do with Callaway other than the
that's
restrictions.
right.
And I have talked to citizens, and they'll tell me they don't want these things, but they do patronize them all.
Right,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right. Including the Firestone, and if there's competition with the Firestone, the Goodyear and Pep Boys, that's good.
Yes.
That means the prices go down and the
Well,
Firestone's gonna be
and it
brand
kind
new.
of ups the bar that
Right.
everybody
Yes,
wants
ma'am.
to perform at top level because there's competition.
They're gonna have a hard time beating Walmart's, because I think Walmart takes their business when it comes to tire and oil
Right.
change.
But
I-
they don't do
I don't
some
go
of
to
the.
Walmart.
No, they don't, no. Yeah.
And
Times at
Firestone
Walmart
does
once a month.
specialize in a lot of mechanical things
Did.
that are very expensive when you go to the dealership. But the Firestone is affordable, and my experience with them, they're top-notch, so.
Well, one of the things that citizens have been requesting every time we bring up something, and we also, the demographics that we're getting closer to what multi-times they've asked for is restaurants, something other than this type of business. And this type, and what they're asking for is, now, we can't tell a developer what to do.
Right.
Nope.
And this Phillips property, has been out there for many years, but things change as the demographics change. Maybe there's another use for this property, and it should be another use for this property.
Correct
So
me if I'm wrong.
I'm willing to keep all that open,
Right.
and I'm willing for the Firestone to be in the area that we would allow them to be in.
City manager, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there some effort at one time that somebody was gonna open a couple of restaurants on that property? Was there a discussion on that? I heard a rumor that, that there was gonna be, hear anything on that?
It-
Just rumors?
The rumors were further down the street
Right.
where the old steak place was and the Chinese place was next. Now they're gonna do, from what I've heard, a Mexican
Right.
place, so.
That's over in Parker.
That's Parker.
That's Parker.
That's in
It is,
Parker.
but
Yeah, that's-
it's-
No, but I'm saying that's what you're
Right.
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
they're gonna have a hard time competing with San Marcos.
Well, I think they're gonna buy it, from what I heard. So,
They already bought it?
did they? Okay.
So anyways, I have mixed emotions about the whole
Yeah,
thing. I know I'll get beat up for
absolutely.
it, but at the end of the day, I look at, they're making the investment on the property, they're building the building. It's gonna create jobs. Yeah, we got another coffee shop. Yeah, we got another car repair. But what are we bringing to that property in the last 10 years? Nothing.
And it is an eyesore right now.
Right. Well, we've had code enforcement a couple times down there. And the food truck that's there disappears at night. I happen to know him, he's a good guy. He comes in and shops at Walmart.
Of course. Everybody shops at Walmart.
Yeah. So,
Any other comment from up here? And I'll let the citizens speak. Okay, who wants to talk about, anybody want to, Mr. Hanning?
Don Hennings, 431 Tanya Pass. Y'all voted down the variance of Grease Pro. When them put up, sales of automobiles there. And now you should have done that, because all they had a little property there. Little property there, that's all, wouldn't have more than 10, 15 cars there maybe to sell. But let this property sit for a while. We're no hurry for it. I mean, been there for a while, I don't think you should do the variance. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Shaner wanted to say something. I saw him first. Yeah, we'll get.
I've got really mixed, Ron Shaner, 5711 Kevin Circle. I've got really mixed feelings about it. You make these rules, and then in certain cases you want to bend them or break them. I mean, either follow your rules you make, the Grease Pro thing comes to mind, you wouldn't, extend that line just a little bit so you could sell a few cars there. But, now I'm hearing this, now you're talking about breaking, you made the rules, follow them, or change, it's just one way or the other. But, the grease pole thing really, you couldn't, is that line, is it in concrete where it can't be moved, or could it have been moved just a little bit to allow Grease Pro to sell cars or whatever? But it's confusing, watching, you want to do this or you want to do that, but it don't quite fit, so you're willing to stretch a little here and be tight over here. So, I got very mixed feelings about it. So, are we better off with a weed patch there, or would we be better off getting some tax money and, a business in there? So, I like to see businesses. I don't like to see weed patches and, no tax money coming in. So you're better off with businesses, but you maybe need to loosen up on your rules a little bit. But, I'm just an old guy, I get confused easily. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chase. Yes, ma'am, I know you wanted to speak.
I'm Christina Melvin with ERA Neubauer, so I'm here to represent the sellers. Yeah, I've heard Phillips come out of everybody's mouth, so I'm sure some of you know John W. Phillips, and unfortunately he's not with us anymore. But it is disheartening to Helma Phillips every time she goes out to Tyndall and she just sees that it's just blank there, or that maybe the food truck might be there or something like that. They were residents of the city of Callaway for over 50 years. John arrived here in 1975 out at the base, and he worked, lived, and served the community for all of those decades. And when you talk about change, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Hurricane Michael. Hurricane Michael took out their personal residence, took out their office, and that's why the property's been sitting there. And if John was alive, truthfully, he probably wouldn't sell it because of the emotional aspect. He had that office there since 1984, and like I said, the emotional tie, the heart of it is there. So they're not leaving the community. They have over 10 residential rentals throughout the city of Callaway, so they are going to continue to be taxpayers. They are going to continue to own the Domino's next door and the Verizon building. They also have a couple of acres on Camellia right behind Domino's. And they would really love for y'all to be able to approve this and put something there that looks good. It's going to bring jobs and people and more opportunities to Callaway. And as you know, the tax revenue and all of that is just going to go up. So on behalf of the Phillipses, they respectfully ask if you would please approve this variance and get this project going so that it can improve the city of Callaway and everything for the residents and the values. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just
Yes, sir.
open with everything, John Phillips built my home. I know John Phillips, he was a great guy while he was with us.
Yeah, he built over hundreds of homes
He
around
did.
Callaway.
Did a good job with him. And also, Mr. Shaner, I've been consistent in my position. I've always been pro-business, and so, that's all.
Mr. Augusta.
David Augusta, 6609 Prison Street. I'm finding myself in agreement with what Mr. Shaner said, and I'm also in agreement with what Commissioner Pelletier and Mr. Ayers have said about this. Yes, the Grease Pro variant should have been approved because it would have brought in some more business, but at the same time, I'm somebody who has occasionally done business with Firestone when my mechanic had to be shut down for the holidays or he went on vacation. I always went to a local Firestone because he recommended them, and Firestone has had some up-to-date, clean, quality waiting areas. I mean, the waiting areas alone, I love. And not to mention their service areas are clean as well. But yes, I know some are saying, no, we don't want another coffee shop here, but And a lot of times in life, there's going to be trade-offs, whether it's your personal life or a business life. And I think this is a pro-business move for the city, not just because it's creating potential jobs and also getting rid of an eyesore within our city, but to add on to what Mr. Pelletier said earlier about bringing in additional tax revenue, this tax revenue is another plus for the city, because who's to say how much it could help this city out if the property tax amendment gets passed by the voters in the state this November. We don't, some are concerned about the revenue loss of our city. Well, this could help compensate part of it. I don't know how much it'll compensate, but hey, a penny saved is a penny earned is what I've always heard, but since pennies got done away with, we say nickel saved, nickel earned, even though there's still some pennies that exist today. But I think these variances should be approved, and out of respect for Mr. Griggs and Mr. Birdsell, this is one of the rare times I have to disagree, but I think it's a win for the city. But again, I quote President Reagan, a 20% disagreement is not a 20% enemy. And I hope Mr. Griggs and Mr. Birdsell will see that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Kathy Christodoulou, 224 Secoshie Drive. Just as a citizen and a consumer, I would love to have a Firestone close by, because I have to go all the way over to Panama City to use it, and we use it all the time. And yeah, I understand. I appreciate all your positions having to make these tough decisions, and thank you for what you do. But I vote for letting them do it, because, hey, a bird in the hand. What's going to happen in 10 years when we look back and go, that eyesore, we should have. Let's just go ahead and do it, and let me go to Firestone.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Teresa Langston, 6031 Lane Street. I'm trying to get through this since I've lost my voice. You talk about the Grease Pro, all the citizens don't want it, citizens this, citizens that, citizens whatever. Now tonight it's, who cares what the citizens want? We're not gonna listen to them. They only voted to put us in office to represent and for you guys to listen to them. But, when the human being came, they were saying the same thing about, why do we have to have another coffee place? We have 5 coffee places within 3.8 miles, starting with Flyby to Starbucks. Within half a mile to a mile, we have 4. That's going to make 5. Tire places within, half a mile? We already have 3 tire places, and now we're going to have 4. The citizens keep saying what they want. Nobody seems to listen. You talk about, well, there ain't no businesses knocking down our door. What are we paying, what is it, next door? To try to bring in businesses? That's been a waste of money. We've been saying that for a couple years now. That's all I've been hearing is, why are we wasting money on them? Because who's out there marketing, trying to bring in different businesses into Callaway? No one. Unless by chance they find a property for sale, or a builder or an engineer or whatever decides, hey, this looks, this would be a good spot for that. We don't have anybody out there marketing Callaway to bring in different businesses that the citizens want. Now, I've lived here for years, 30-something years, from when I was a child, so I've seen change and I understand change. But why do we have to have all these coffee places? Why do we have to have all these tire repair shops, gas stations? Why can't we bring in something better? That's the job of, I guess, the city manager and whomever to try to market Callaway. But I don't think, is it not your job to kind of help promote Callaway?
I do the best I can. But I don't spend on the phone calling Red Lobster and those people.
Well, thank God for that, because, I'm okay with not having that over here. But I'm just saying, with all the coffee places, look at the human being. I drive by that place all the time. Because, I'm out and about doing what I do. And there's hardly anybody ever at the human being. So what makes another coffee shop any different than than what we already have. So I think we have enough coffee and tire places, and I think you should listen to the citizens. And about the job, it's not gonna be 30 to 40 jobs that brings in, just so you know, it's gonna be less than that, because I heard them talking about how many jobs it's going to be, and it's definitely not gonna be 30 or 40.
Your time's up, thank you. Now, one thing, I don't know, maybe you didn't hear when Commissioner Pelletier, number one, our contract with Nexide has expired, so they are no longer under contract, and city manager said at the time that Nexide was marketing the city, that property did not want to be listed. The seller did not want to list it, so that property wasn't marketed because the seller, or the owner didn't want it to be.
But that's not the only property.
No, but I mean, Nexide is, they market, but sometimes you can market, but if nobody's interested, what can you do? You can't make them come.
And you don't take into account their shift work, because those businesses are open longer than 12 hours, and you're going to have to break it up. Also, we do listen to citizens. Do you mind? We're talking. And when you get your 3 minutes, please come up and talk then.
Let's be civil, everybody, please. Yes, sir.
Martin Vossler, 6303 Ross Road. I'm so far on the fence with this thing that I'm afraid I'm going to fall over and rip my nice shirt. I am a lifelong mechanic. To this day, I work at a tire place. I love working at that tire place. And as that lifelong mechanic, and I know about tires, I hate it when people come up here and try to pull the wool over your eyes or lie to us when we're sitting there. We're going to recycle our tires. You have to recycle your tires. Don't let somebody come up here and tell you that we're doing a good job because we're going to recycle our tires. Florida statute says you have to recycle your tires. So don't let somebody come up here. If they're going to do their homework and come here and tell you that they're good people because they recycle their tires, do your homework, do the math, and come here and get a good number. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to tell you how many employees they're going to have. I get it. They don't know which business they're going to put. But it's ridiculous. Don't let people come up here and try to fool you, which is fooling us because we're going to be the ones stuck with this. I want my tires done. I do my own tires. And if I don't do my own tires, my friends that live right next to me in Callaway, I go to their tire shop. So I'm so on the fence with this, like I would make a good politician. I'm sorry. As a person that's on the fence with this, I am the person that wants a car wash. I have wanted a car wash to be an owner of a car wash for almost my whole adult life. If you look out there and you see my car, I wash that thing like every other day. I wanted to provide that place for people. So I'm really on the fence with this. And yeah, people are going to, maybe be mad about having a car wash. I'm very happy with what I do right now. I'm not going to ask for y'all to let me open one. But the main thing is, I was leaning towards coming up here and saying, let them build it. And then they come up here, they have somebody that just tries to lie to you guys about something. And, well, what else are they lying about? If they're going to try to say, we're going to recycle our tires, don't let people fool you. They have to. They have to. It's ridiculous.
Well, thank you for that information. Who else wants to speak? Yes, ma'am.
Karen Custer, 216 Lanny Road Drive. I've heard a lot of people say, I'd rather have something other than a coffee shop or a tire place. What would that be? I mean, what's suitable to go there that Eddie could even go out and try to get? I have no idea. Would it be a dog grooming place? Can anybody give us ideas what could go there that we could go out and look for? I mean, you have a medical place across the street. I mean, of course, we'd love to have nice restaurants, but they're not coming to Callaway. What could we have?
Why not?
Oh, Eddie's not getting, Eddie doesn't like Red Lobster.
I actually like Red Lobster. I just don't ever eat there. Why would you eat a Red Lobster when you live in Florida?
Yeah.
The food's all fresh.
No, I'm just asking, what are we waiting for, because I don't know. If we can't think of anything, that we might be able to go out and get, then approve this, if you want to.
Well, definitely what the citizens have been asking for. Now, we've had a realtor, and of course the realtor is involved in selling this property to them. We've had the comments concerning the Phillips, when I'm very familiar with the Phillips and John and all that, but and the property is there, and actually there's property behind there that the Phillips could incorporate with this particular property for a restaurant business or something along that line. So there are other opportunities, and that's what we look for when we establish these overlays in these corridors. I have nothing but praise for the businesses they're talking about, Firestone. I have no problem with that. It's just that this is not the area that Callaway has designated for that type of business.
Right.
And we've actually had, 7 people on the planning board who are all the citizens,
I'm just asking, what would you put there?
Ms.
if
Custer,
not
what
this?
I'll do is, I never want to interrupt you 3 minutes.
That's
That's the
okay.
first thing.
That's all
But Mr. Fry will get up and you can tell us what businesses, did I put you on the spot?
What are the permitted?
I mean,
What kind of businesses
does
can go in the
anybody have
district?
an idea? Because
Please come up.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
He could tell us what's permitted there.
Oh, well, it's better defined as what's prohibited.
Oh,
But if it were up to me, we'd have a Cheesecake Factory put in there.
oh, yeah, that would be great.
Right. So
They
that's
like
why
malls.
it's in here,
Yeah.
and that's the issue.
Does that answer your question?
Said not a lot can
No,
go here.
No.
they do not answer the question, Bill.
Well, obviously restaurants, we're here tonight because specifically in that overlay district, it's prohibited to do what they're asking to do, so there are many things that you are allowed to do, a pharmacy, there's just, it's better defined by what you're not allowed to do and then the, everything else, because it is zoned highway commercial. So,
And you did list all the prohibited things on the sheet, so it's already right
yeah,
here.
it's a big parcel, but it's just not quite big enough to bring in one of those big ticket items.
Right.
Like a Cheesecake Factory.
Because we need a mall first.
That ain't gonna happen.
Gotta be a mall
The
anyway.
Galleria did not happen.
The Galleria did
I'm
not
sorry.
The gallery didn't happen. Cheesecake Factory didn't happen on the beach because they tried to bring them in.
Yeah.
And if it won't go to the beach, it sure won't come to Callaway.
So there's a lot of things that we can say, and I understand, but at the end of the day, we still have income coming in. We still have a few jobs, be it 10 jobs, 20 jobs, jobs that people can go to that we're not offering right now. And I know I'll get beat up when I get home tonight. But, and, she said in the parking lot. Not my But anyhow, that's my feelings.
Anybody else that wants to comment on this?
And I think too, Mayor, at some point, we need to have a discussion about an overlay.
Yes.
It's been there for a long, long time, but
Yes.
is it serving the city of Callaway?
Yes, we need to have a workshop or
Right.
have it on an
Yeah,
agenda
is it serving,
item.
is it serving us?
Well, and we
Because I
can
agree with
change
Mr.
it,
Shaner,
can't we?
you know.
So maybe that's what, maybe we need a
Right.
workshop and talk about, do we need to make changes to the
Right.
overlay?
I agree with
When was
Mr.
it
Shaner
It
on
was
the,
adopted way before I got here.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's before my date.
Said 2005,
I mean, it was, and if you look at it, I mean, it's kind of
2006.
like,
2006.
in a perfect world,
We already have all these businesses on Kendall Parkway. They're already there.
but if you look at that, it's like in a perfect world, and you know, if we got all our wishes, this is what we would have.
Right.
But now, in today's age, it may not be realistic.
Right, exactly. And
So we
I
probably
think the
just
issue
need
is
to
that we should
look
have a
at it.
discussion on the overlay district, because I think, in my mind, you know, I agree with what a lot of citizens said, I agree with what Mr. Shaner said.
Yes.
You know, so there's a lot of things I do agree with, but I think when you look at, and down Tyndall Parkway, we have, yes, the coffee shops, yes, we have the car repair, yes, we have on and on and on and on and on. But you get into Callaway, we don't want you.
But no, it's, I mean, it's a difficult decision. 'Cause, you know? But I still think I want to be business friendly in Callaway.
I agree.
And I think it's better to have something
Than nothing.
than have just that empty, not real attractive parcel. So if nobody else wants to say anything, are we ready for a motion? I'm ready for a motion.
I am too.
Motion to approve variance from the City of Callaway Code of Ordinances 535 North Tyndall Parkway.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No.
So we're passed on a 3-2 vote. So I'm sure we'll hear some from you gentlemen some more about whatever other variances you discussed. And we will go on to our next item, item number 3, additional city employee holiday. Mr. Pelletier, did you want to
Right.
discuss this?
I put that on there because, as you well, most of you know, a lot of counties are discussing giving extra time off to our city employees for the 4th of July for the celebration of 250. I know Parker's discussed it. I don't know about Panama City and Lynn Haven.
Parker passed it.
Parker passed?
Do you know
Okay.
Parker
anybody-
matched the state.
So,
Anybody else?
Do you know of anybody else actually?
Springfield did not. They talked about it, and they just left it as the
Did
Friday.
Bay County pass it?
Baycon, I don't know. I don't know if they've even discussed it.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I wish if the governor had so much extra money to do this,
Give it to
I
them.
wish he would have sent it down here, that we could use it on Highway 22. I'd much rather see that. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'd rather the state employees just get one holiday and we get our road taken care of.
But at the end of the day, we talk about how, and we talk about, all of us, about how our employees are doing a great job. And I just think this is one way for us to, as a, you know, as a commission, to give back to
No,
our.
we're just talking about one extra day.
One extra
correct?
day,
And
and the
just
city
this
manager
year,
can decide if that's a Friday or a Monday.
just this year, not
Just this year only,
ongoing.
yes.
The only concern that I had, now I'm not opposed to doing the extra day, but, and I even discussed it with city manager, would we be better to do half the employees on Thursday, so they have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and half on Monday? You know, all my concern was, is that gonna cause any problem for citizens?
Right,
You know, if
right.
utility billing is
Right.
closed 2 days.
Right.
Rather than just one.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with Public Works, are we gonna have to have somebody on call, and is that gonna end up costing more money than if, so, you know,
I don't have
this
any
is
problem.
another one that I'm kind of,
I think that's a good, it's up what city manager
but
thinks.
city
but, you know,
manager doesn't really think that doing a split like that would be beneficial,
It'd be rough.
other than
Yeah,
utility
I
billing
don't-
would be the only,
Yeah, that's about the only.
Yeah, the only one that's getting affected here is the fire department. They don't get to get that.
well, but they already
And
were.
we have the
Sorry,
fire
Chief.
boxes, and even though it's due on the 5th,
Right.
we would,
15.
right, yeah, but we've
15,
already worked
so-
it out how we would have to do
Okay.
billing. It would work
That's a
out
good
best.
idea.
My only other concern, and this seems like these guys always get the short end, is leisure services. Will your guys be able to take an extra day, or you got stuff going on?
We'll have to schedule.
Well, we did away with the 4th of July celebration, so we
So
don't have
that
to
they
work.
could have the day off?
Right, mhm.
And I appreciate you bringing this up, because I called the city manager and said, hey, can we bring, he goes, Commissioner Pelletier already beat you to it.
Jumped on you, jumped ahead on you?
What's anybody else got to? We want to get, I mean, we got your viewpoint,
Well,
we know yours.
Well, I'm with Bob. It kind of surprises me with the Doge movement up at Tallahassee that they would even do this. But since there's, the snowball is running downhill in this case. And if the city manager needs to split it up and maybe go to the different organizations, ask, hey, make this 50-50, I could see that.
Well, I think he prefers just one day. You said it would be better all around if we just do
Just close
Monday.
it for a whole day.
So if we
Do
just
Friday,
do
Mon-
Friday,
Friday,
Saturday,
Monday.
Sunday, Monday.
Friday, Monday works best.
Friday, Monday.
Well, and that way everybody's, they're working 2 4-day weeks instead of a 3-day and then going back for 5.
I think we've compromised. So I'm good. Friday, Monday.
Do you have anything to say, Commissioner Griggs?
It's not in the budget. Yeah. Now, you want to give up that, you want to go ahead and pay that day, what paving are we not going to be doing because that money could be spent on the paving? I mean, this is something that the state, and like the mayor has pointed out, they got so much money at the state, but they don't have enough money to give us for the things that we need. But they got enough money to give 1,000 employees an additional day.
More than that.
For that.
100,000.
100,000.
100,000 employees. I knew it was, I left off the zero. But that's,
Like
you
I
know,
said,
they got
it's a
the,
direct violation of the Doge principle.
and that's all political.
Yes, sir.
But our job as we sit here is to form a budget, approve that budget, and approve the use of what that money's gonna be spent for, in which we did. And we actually, you know, we had an opportunity, if we wanted to give the employees another holiday, we took a holiday away in order to come up with the June 10th. And that was upsetting because we gave away President's Day in order to put in June 10th. But now, what I'm hearing is, oh, it's okay, we'll go ahead, and very honestly, I appreciate the employees, and every one of them knows it, that I appreciate the employees. But my job is, as commissioner up here, is to manage the funds and approve the funds. This is not in the budget. You know, next year, you know, when we do next year's budget, are we just going to be, say, well, maybe there's something that's going to come up, somebody's going to need something, we're going to go ahead and give everybody another day off, whatever. And by giving the day off, other than what has already been listed in the holidays and all that, a citizen coming in to make a payment for their utilities or whatever, I mean, there's not going to be anybody there.
That's not what we discussed, Commissioner.
Pardon?
That's not what we discussed. The city manager was gonna split it.
Going to split it?
Yeah.
Well,
So somebody's gonna be there. Somebody's gonna have to be in the city
yeah.
on one of those 2 days.
I mean, that's kind of what we decided, that splitting it wouldn't be as beneficial.
But the only way we could split it would be with utility billing. That would be effective.
Right.
But I'm asking y'all, since y'all seem to be proponents of it, I'm not a proponent of it because my job here is to manage the money.
And we're talking about something else tonight then that's not in the budget.
You know, where's this money coming from? Now you can say, well, we got the reserve, and we have plenty of reserve to do various things. Is this?
The payroll's already there, Commissioner. There's no extra money. The
Yeah.
payroll is we already approved the payroll, so I don't know where you're coming out with extra money. We approved the payroll.
Yeah.
All we're doing is approving one extra day, so it's not costing the citizens a dime more than what we budgeted for, is that they're getting an extra day off, this time only, period. So there's no extra money. If you do your homework, you're talking about budget to me, you're talking to the wrong guy. There's no extra money. We've already approved the budget for payroll for this fiscal year. all we're doing is giving them an extra day off. It's not costing any more.
No, because we've already budgeted for the
It's already budgeted.
salary for that day.
Salary's there.
So, and I did, one of my concerns was solid waste, but city manager says they work it out so that people that would have solid
Right.
waste pickup on those days.
They pick up
that does
Thursday or
get
Friday.
picked up either the day before or the day after.
As long as we don't create overtime.
Yes.
But there's no extra money, Commissioner. It's already in the budget. It's just a day off.
Very honestly, I stand corrected on that.
That's okay.
But generally,
You're talking to the
here
wrong
again,
guy when you're talking about budget.
coming from business, when you spend money for a purpose, manufacture something or do something. So in this case, we're spending the money, we're just not getting anything for it except appreciation to the employees.
Well, appreciation, morale, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I can list a dozen things that this is going to do. When was the last time this commission ever did that? None. And when was the last time we saw a 250? Probably you and I will never see it again. Nobody in this room is ever going to see it again.
No, we're not going to see 500.
No, we're not going to see 500, you know. So I saw the trend throughout the state of Florida, and I understand, you know, the governor, he paid 100,000 employees, but it's in the state budget already. Their payroll is. So it's not costing anybody extra money. It's already in the budget.
No, except we could have used that money for
We
other
could have used it for
stuff.
something else, yes. But,
That's a lot of money.
I mean, we've had sister cities already doing it.
Yeah.
And I just think that, again, we do all appreciate it, but let's, you know,
Let's show our appreciation.
let's show our appreciation, and it's not costing us extra dollars because we have already funded it.
Okay, we'll hear from the citizens who wants to comment on the extra day off for 4th of July. Yes, ma'am?
Kathy Christodoulou, 224 Sakoshi. My husband was saying, are y'all going to let us know if you're going to switch your day of pickup for the trash on the streets so that we know to put the stuff out?
What's your normal day?
If it's on a Monday, you'll probably have it Thursday or Friday.
Monday, just let the public
I have mine on
know, because that
Monday.
would be very
If it's on
frustrating.
Friday, if it's on Friday, they would pick up on Thursday. If it's on Monday, they'll pick it up on Tuesday.
Tuesday after.
They'll double pick up on a day.
Yeah, we have an extra truck now too.
But if you give the extra day, that's going to be Thursday, could be an extra day, or Monday could be an extra day.
Right.
So to pick up on Thursday,
We would
it's
pick
going
up.
to
we
be
would pick
picking up on Wednesday.
No, just for, on Thursday, we'll pick up Thursday and Friday. We'll run 2 routes.
Yeah, just let the residents know so we know which day to.
Yeah.
If we approve the date, Commissioner, we're looking to give them Monday as the
Yes,
extra day.
Giving them Monday.
So they'll pick up Thursday's route, we'll pick up Thursday and Friday. Friday's a shorter route anyway. And then Monday's route, we will pick up, on Tuesday, we'll pick up Monday and Tuesday. And if they don't finish on Tuesday, then they'll pick it up Wednesday
Right.
morning. They'll finish the
No,
route
we-
and do Tuesday, Wednesday.
If we do Monday, do we just do everybody Monday? I mean, I hate to make utility billing split theirs and everybody else.
That's going to
the
be
whole
pretty
department
tough,
has.
because
So-
we're going to have supervisors.
Well, utility billing
Because that's money.
won't
And
be
so there's-
effective because it's not due till the 15th.
Till the 15th,
Right.
so I
And
doubt
it
there'll be
doesn't
too
go to the
many.
25th.
There won't be too many people in there at the 5th of the month or 6th of the
We
month.
just need to put it on the website.
Yes.
We need to,
Yes,
you
we
know,
will.
we need to get information out.
And we have the Dropbox.
Yes.
We have the
But
Dropbox.
you can get it out.
The bill probably won't get out till the-
And about offices being closed.
Our bill probably won't be out till about that time anyhow.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
We can delay that bill going out so they don't get it until
Then we get all calls
Until
back
they
and
get
get my
6 or
bill.
7. Then they don't know what they owe.
So they won't have the bill by the day before, maybe,
Yeah.
if we're lucky.
Did anybody else want to comment? Mr. Shaner?
Well, anyway, Ron Shaner, 711 Kevin Circle. I get all kinds of stewed up when I hear about all these federal and state holidays. Whenever, if they keep adding holidays, at some point in time, hundreds of years down the line, every day is going to be a holiday. I ain't figured out how many years that's going to take, but it just gripes me every time they add another holiday. On the state and the federal level, another day for them to get out and do the thing. Another day that, no production. It's no production and they're getting paid for it. But, I always think about that point in time when nobody's gonna have to do anything but get their paycheck. So, I know it's a stupid thing, but.
No, you're right.
Well, Mr. Trainer, we do celebrate months now.
That's right. No.
And we do celebrate 10 holidays, and so does the state. They have one personal day, but this would be our 11th day.
Go ahead, Ms. Langston.
Teresa Langston, 6031 Lowell Street. I don't see what the big deal of having the 4-day weekend for the employees. You worried about a hardship on the citizens. Any other time you don't care about what the citizens need or want. And why are we worried about it now on this agenda item?
Thank you, Ms. Langston. Who else wants to? Mr. Augusta?
David Augustus, 6609 Pruden Street. I think this is a no-brainer because our city employees deserve to have another day of rest, especially on the birthday of our country. Whether this is our 250th birthday or our 300th birthday coming up, it's a day of celebration that I think they deserve to have a time off. They work hard, and probably one of our best examples is Chief Joyner here and his team, but I doubt they're going to be closed down on the holidays because, fireworks and the danger. I pray to God there won't be any fires so they can have a deserved rest at that fine fire station that they have. But to me, they deserve it because I've said before, our city is a microcosmic example of our nation, and that's one reason I'm proudly wearing this t-shirt acknowledging both our city and our nation. And more proof of it tonight was that fine donation we got from the LAX semi-pro soccer team, again proving that we are the best and we should show we are the best by honoring the lifeblood of our city, or our citizens, giving them a day off. And by the way, I hope that can be hung in the City Hall lobby where everybody can see it and be proud of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Don't see anybody, so it's back to us. Would someone like to make a motion?
Can I make this one? Motion to approve Commissioner Pelletier's application for, is it Monday? Friday and Monday off as amended.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? No. Then all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay, motion carries.
May I take a moment? I need to use the bathroom.
Sure, you go right ahead.
Leave your microphone on the desk. When you said leave the microphone on the desk. I just heard the story. I wasn't here when it happened.
We have this clip-on microphone. And the former commissioner didn't think about it.
Won't mention what Ward 1. No.
It was down here.
Yeah.
I just wish we had recorded that then.
Well, he took it in with them, and I don't think he realized, because when he came out, everybody laughed, and he didn't know what we were laughing at. Well, I can go ahead and at least introduce this next item. There won't be any explanation much, I would hope, until he gets back. So we'll go on to agenda item number 4, Cherry Street reconstruction and drainage, DRMP CEI fee amendment number 1. And city manager is going to have this item, explain this item.
I'm thinking about going to the bathroom.
You can't, it's
I'm
on the
thinking,
phone.
I'll go to another one.
Okay, he's back, so go ahead.
Thank you. Couldn't hold it.
Okay, you want to go ahead and address this?
The basics of it is DRMP, they do the CEI for the Cherry Street project. And of course, due to the delays in the project with, basically with utility conflicts and the utility conflict management, and all the additional engineering that they have to review, the CEIs required by the state have been depleted. And so this represents estimates for an additional 12-month extension of the CEI services. It is a time and materials contract extension, and it will only be billed as such. And should the project extend, they may be back if we run out of CEI funds for this. I do have Eddie Lewis, who is with DRMP, who can answer questions about that. You know, the CEI is required by the state. We have to have that. And I will honestly tell you, there's a lot of projects when I go, I don't need a CEI. This project, by far, even if it is a requirement, they have been very integral with us in helping us mitigate the utility conflicts. They actually did the utility conflict management in the beginning that the state threw on us at the last minute. And we did get that done at a very reduced price, so. Eddie, do you want to add anything?
I don't have much to add, just any questions I can try to answer.
Anybody have questions?
This is after the fact, it's already happened, right? How do you know that we're gonna expend that much money in the next 12 months?
This is just
Is this a part of money we're giving you?
it's an additional fee for the continuing
work that's already been
services
done.
for the CEI services.
No, not work that's been done.
No.
I'm asking the question, yeah.
We already had them under contract.
I understand that.
And it's for time and materials. And so you've got like two senior and one,
Yeah,
and we
we've
have
got-
one on-site guy that has to
We've got a senior project engineer, a project administrator, and an
Right.
inspector.
I'm just trying to figure out where you came up with that $313,000, that's all.
Yeah, it's, did they send in anything for the agenda, it's got the breakout right here, as far as estimated hours and all.
So, yeah, they go through and they do an estimate on
It may
12
or may
months,
not
how
happen.
much.
It
Exactly,
may or may not happen.
yeah.
They will only bill for time and materials.
Right.
Right.
That's the only reason why I was asking the question.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not done yet, and they'll bill us for what they do, and it may not be that much.
And that's gonna come out of infrastructure?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Anybody else have questions?
Do we have to do the full year? Can we do it quarterly, or should we do the full year?
Might as well,
Do the full year.
yeah. I mean,
No, we're gonna have another
We know we're a
extension.
year, we know we're a year out.
Yeah, I believe this has got a year, maybe plus,
I know.
to finish this project, yes.
Well, and if it gets done before the year's up, then they won't,
That would be great.
yeah. It's not like we'll say, well, we approved it for a year, so they're gonna keep on working even though it's done.
Exactly.
We have
A little
grants.
bit.
So if we negated even doing this, any state grants that are tied to this are no longer available to us.
Yes, this is gonna get paid, like Eddie said, from the half-cent sales tax.
Anybody else up here?
Nope.
Nothing? Thank you, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone in the audience have any comment on this item? Yes, ma'am.
Teresa Langston, 6031 North Street. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. We're just not doling out this money to them. It's going to be billed as they use it. And how often do they bill us? Is it going to be like monthly?
We get billed monthly, yes.
And those will be available to whomever the citizens if they want to see them, or,
Yes.
Yeah.
and are they detailed, or do they just give you hours and do they
They have
say what
detail,
they've
they have
done?
details with progress notes that are attached to all of them, that shows what happened in that month.
Okay.
I mean, other than, I mean, we know, like, where you see the full one. Okay, so the one means we have somebody that's on site every day out of 8 hours a day that works the full entire time. We have to have an inspector on site, all work hours. Isn't that true, Eddie?
Yes.
I don't want to say something that's not right, so.
Yes, sir, that's right, that's why.
So we have an inspector that's there every day, and then you have senior inspectors, and that's why they're billed at a lower rate, but they're either used or they're not used. So the bills fluctuate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering how they bill it. You said they're going to bill it monthly?
Yes, we get billed monthly.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank
We
you.
had inspectors at Bridge Site every day too.
Yes. They were
ARP.
on site every
Every time I drove by there, I saw their truck,
Yeah.
having coffee.
In fact, it's the same guy.
Well, he's got to be there, that's,
Yeah, right, I know.
they're not always something
Right.
for him to do, but he's got to be there
Yeah.
to watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Did anybody else want to comment on this item? Not seeing anybody, it's back to us. If someone would like to make a motion,
A motion to approve the Cherry Street reconstruction or drainage DRMP CI fee amendment number 1.
do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We will go on to item number 5. Hugh Thomas Panhandle Engineering Change Order Number 1, no cost.
Okay, even though this is an increase in the engineering fees, this CDBG project experienced many county utility conflicts. These are all the issues, Commissioner, that happened out on Highway 22, where we had to go out and do a lot of work. And so it required additional engineering to resolve the issues. The engineer requested additional funds to cover the costs associated with both the engineering and the CEI. State funds allowed for the project exceeded the construction and engineering bid cost, and a request was made to the state to expend a portion of the additional engineering cost. Final construction costs came in at $20,000 under budget, and the additional funds for the engineering were approved. Grant management agrees with the request. While this change order is a cost increase, it is a no cost to the city, and state funds will cover it. The remaining funds from the project will be cost shifted into the Sandy Creek Sewer Project. So that particular CDBG program, if you remember, it started off as Sandy Creek. The state came in, they had additional funds. They added Hugh Thomas into that for another $2.6 million. So when we put all the bids in, basically, we came in at the total bid cost, I want to make sure I get this right. Overall, we had $2.68 million, but the construction came in well under, and the engineering was under. So we signed a contract for not to exceed amounts for both of those contracts. But the money still stays with the state until the project closes out. So we still had the additional funds sitting there. So the easiest way to do it is you can't cost shift from engineering and CEI to construction because those are two separate contracts. So the state approved us expending the additional funds that they had in their budget. That's why it's a no cost to us, but it is a cost increase to the engineering contract. So we're asking for permission to increase their engineering cost, which the state will cover, and we did come in $20,000 under budget on construction. And then the additional funds that are left, which I think is another $60,000, all of that money that's extra will cost shift over into the Sandy Creek project for construction.
Looks like 32,000.
It's a lot to comprehend. It's
Yeah.
just, we have to,
Okay, is
that's why we have a grant manager on this one.
Anybody have any question for city manager on this? You explained it pretty well. You did.
Now, I did sign off on the change order for the reduction in, because it was a reduction of funds, so I changed off on it.
Yeah, we don't mind if you sign off on reductions.
I don't know if I put it in there. Did we put it in there, Ashley? No, we didn't.
Did anybody in the audience want to comment on this no-cost change order? Don't see anybody. So,
And I'll go ahead and get something off my list and say that they're supposed to be starting on that fence any day. We're waiting on them to show up.
okay,
Oh, I didn't have it on my list.
and we talked about it. I
Yeah,
think
we
could
talked
put
about it.
on
I
there.
thought I put it on there, yeah.
Nobody in the audience had anything to say on this, so would someone like to make a motion?
Motion, Hugh Thomas, Panhandle Engineering change order number 1, no cost.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we will go on to our last item, number 6, Civic Plus Recreational Management Software. City Manager.
So Tim and Caleb have been dealing with trying to manage our facilities. And when we say facilities, we're not just talking about building rental. But this also is everything from the volleyball court to the basketball court to the tennis courts to the pavilions and everything else when people want to reserve these things. And so they're just, it's a very hassle right now on being able to try to track and manage all of these things, especially we have some issues with how things are being paid and the deposits and how we run all that. So leisure services need software to track, schedule, and pay for facility rentals to include pavilions, courts, buildings, etc. Our current website provider, Civic Plus, has a module that will integrate into our website to provide this for our residents. It will also provide payment portals. This will reduce staff time and potential conflict and errors while giving the residents a smooth and easy way to book and pay for facilities online. The initial term and setup are $10,088 with a second-year fee of $7,500, and the contract states that they can only go up no more than 5%. And I think that's based on CPI, right, Tim? Yeah, something like that. And Tim, I'm going to let you get up and explain a little bit about how staff time works on this and how, and y'all have the slides in there that talks about how that, I didn't prepare to put them on the screen, so.
Is that 5%, the 7,000, or the 7,000? Okay.
It's basically $3,000 setup is what it is.
What do you mean by that?
We have to integrate all of our
3,000 for the
stuff
setup?
to get it in there. And then once it's in there, Tim will be able to manage everything.
Looks about like.
So the
3,000
annual,
is included in the 10. That's
Yes.
where the 10 comes from.
That's where the 10 comes from.
the annual fee is $7,500?
The annual fee is $7,500, yes.
Plus 5%. Or plus 5% after next year,
Well, up to 5%.
Well-
after next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and fill you in a little bit, how we kind of went down a rabbit hole to get here, but one of the biggest things that has been coming up over the weekends lately is sand volleyball, basketball, tennis, and, we have pickleball courts, and people not being able to get on, or being there and waiting for over an hour, 2 hours, and they're texting me pictures over the weekend, and, they're like, we gotta do something about this. And so, we have ways worked out that we're renting out our buildings and our pavilions, which we're up to 11 pavilions now that we rent out. Anyway, so we looked at a lot of different solutions. There's different apps that we can get to use for like the pickleball courts and the tennis court and sand volleyball and stuff. But then we started looking at, a lot of the different things we do. We've improved some of our processes. We're using the Adobe sign paperwork and we're emailing it back and forth to people. But we would cut out a whole lot of steps if we did this through our website. And there's other things that are coming up down the road that we're not there yet. But for ADA compliance, this would bring us up to where we need to be in the next 2 years on ADA compliance. And included in this from Civic Plus, because they are our website people, there'd be a discount on when the city has to update the rest of the website, because we're going ahead and putting this ADA module as part of the module that we're getting. And, so we'll be able to, people will be able to go on, all the calendars will be online for every building, for 18 different sports fields, just all the different things that we rent out. And we're looking at, like, things with the basketball and tennis courts, we don't have a fee attached to those now. We would attach a small fee, whether it's $5 an hour or something like that, just to keep people from booking up time when they're not serious about it. That was one of the things we ran into years ago when community center was free at one point when I first started working here. And we would have people that would reserve the building, and you go by there all day long and nobody's there. So that was part of the thought process, is we'll add a small fee to booking some of these things that we don't usually book, that are first come, first serve. But that will solve a problem. And like I said, a lot of people end up with my phone number, and I get texts and pictures and all kinds of things throughout the weekend.
What's the cost for the website? You said there's going to be a discount. What do we pay for the website now?
Tim, that's actually a question.
Yeah.
I would have to look up that contract. I don't have it on me right now.
But I know the number they threw out was it would save the city about $2,000 towards upgrading.
Yeah, but we don't have a number.
ADA.
I don't know why you can't give us a number this evening.
Why don't we table it till next time?
Well, what number are you asking about?
Well, we already
The city website is already
We're
approved.
tabled it, we
I
can't
don't know
discuss it anymore. Stop discussing, it's tabled. You'll have to get those numbers.
Y'all will have to email me what
Yeah,
y'all want.
tell
I'll send you
what
an
number?
email. I've got quite a few questions.
Go,
I'll send you
send
an
them an
email.
email, and that way we can discuss it and vote on it at the next
Yeah.
meeting. Okay, so that brings us up to commission and staff comments. I have just a few things. It's been a busy couple of weeks. Colonel Bergholt is now gone from Tyndall. He's on his way to Korea, in fact. But there have been several events regarding his farewell. I presented a certificate of appreciation to him for what Tyndall has done to help our community. And then there was his change of command, a reception for the new Colonel Thugelin, who is now the commander of the 325th Fighter Group. We had another house dedication at the Habitat Village last Thursday. There was another one this Thursday at 11 o'clock. City manager and I were at the one last Thursday, but it is 11 o'clock this Thursday. This is the second Bill Kramer house that's going to be dedicated. The one that we did last week was the credit union, the 7 credit unions that came together. So the young lady and her son have moved into that house. There'll be another family moving in this week or next week. No, this week. Okay, the fishing rodeo was great. I know the 3 of us that were working the registration table, it looked like we registered about 175 kids. Did you have a final count?
It was 179.
179. Well, we were pretty close, but it was a good turnout. I do want to say, because I've worked that registration table for many years, but the pre-registration really did help. It made things go a lot smoother. So hopefully next year we can get even more people to pre-register, because it went smoother for them and for us. But it was great. People were excited. We had a good turnout. People enjoyed themselves. And I tell you, I'm impressed with those trophies that we give away. They are nice trophies. And then the last thing, a couple of us met today, city manager and Adam and I met with Dan Sowell to talk about the impacts that the upcoming legislation could have on our budget, you know, the property tax issues, just to get the impacts of what that could do to Callaway's revenues. City manager does have, I believe you have copies of the information that was provided by Mr. Sowell that he can give to y'all, that you can look at.
So,
So, sorry.
You want me to hand them that?
Well, I mean, you can just pass them.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Actually, I'll
many, do
give
you
you-
have any extra or just enough for
No,
commission?
I think I got those two.
Well, I mean, in case anybody in the audience wanted to. Yeah, I don't need one, I've got one. Remember, I was
This is-
the
yeah,
meeting,
this-
I
this-
set up the meeting.
Nine. And if anybody's interested, what we're looking at is the first year, where they're talking about the $150,000 exemption, the city would lose approximately $606,000 in revenue. In year two, when it goes up to $250,000, we would lose an additional $256,000. So over a 2-year period, we would then be sitting at about $863,000 impact to the budget. What they couldn't tell us was how the 5-year plan, where if you've been a resident for 5 years after that, they don't have a plan for that yet at the property appraisers. They're trying to work through that. These are just, but these are numbers without the 5 year.
Well, and there are gonna be a lot of questions about that because it's gonna be, will there be any kind of military exemption? That military would not have to wait the 5 years. Just like if there's a resident from someplace else in Florida, they would probably not have to wait the 5 years. So there's gonna be a lot of confusion about that 5-year
And that'll
issue.
all be determined.
Yes, at a later date.
But right now, the maximum impact that we'd be looking at in the first year would be $606,000
Based on today's numbers.
based on today's numbers.
That could change.
And then in year two, it'd be an additional $256 on top of that. So that basically in year two, it'd be an $863,000 hit to the budget. So this is just something to think about for budget time when it comes up. We'll be looking at plug-in numbers. Not so much, and this is not for next year's budget. Next year's budget will not be affected. We will go through a normal budget season this year. But we do need to be looking at it for the future and how we handle it. So I just wanted to give you make sure y'all had the preliminary numbers so y'all can have something to
Have
look
you
at.
set a budget schedule
We're gonna set that at the next meeting.
pretty soon?
Yeah. The next meeting, we will set our budget
Okay.
workshops.
Well, that was all
Correct,
I
Ashley?
had. So we'll start with Commissioner Boatsell. Do you have anything for the group?
I also got to go to the fishing rodeo. It was a good time. My 7-year-old absolutely loved it, even though she didn't catch anything.
Are you sure she loved it? Because she didn't look.
She has her moments. We went fishing that night too.
I did not see you fishing a lot. I saw her under the pavilion quite a bit.
Yeah.
Actually, did you
What little
get-
bit she did. I got a question for you there, Mr. Cook.
There's actually in there.
The fence, you said it's going to get started hopefully tomorrow.
I didn't give it time. They just said within the next
Soon.
week or two, yes. And
Because
that was
our
a while
last,
ago.
yes, our last meeting, they were supposed to start.
They're coming in from South Florida to do it. They have an independent contractor that works for their company, and he's coming in to do it.
So not a firm timeline on. Okay. Nothing else.
Okay, Commissioner Briggs?
Just one thing, and that's Tim complimenting the fishing rodeo. Once again, we've been doing this for 23 years, and Leisure Services is doing a heck of a job. Of course, the fire department's showing up with a couple of trucks and doing some exhibitions, et cetera, but nothing but accolades for the Leisure Services Department in there. And this is probably my last one, as, at least as a commissioner. But I've been to probably over 20 of that rodeo. And it's, once again, I'm a broken record when it's complimenting Leisure Services for this.
That it?
That's it.
And that pavilion helped out.
Yes,
Oh,
oh
it,
yeah, people loved that. That was great. Commissioner Pelletier.
Just a few items. City Manager, can you update us on Sakoshi Drive?
Yes, I have it on my
When you get
list.
to your point. Also J.H. Cruz.
Yes, sir.
And all these water leaks that are being created, and I asked you the question, I don't think I ever got an answer by contractors. Are we billing them for this, or is this eating up the cost?
No, we build them.
Can I see?
That big one on, they're pulling the bills together right now on
Okay,
that
can
one
I
that
see the
happened
payment on it? We bill that gas station on a 98, $10,000. We ever got a penny back? City attorney, remember? It's been years back.
Years ago, yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we talk about billing, but I never see money coming in. So I'd like to see the receipt of that when it comes in, please.
Oh, the receipt, okay.
On Habitat, are you sending emails to the commission? Am I the only one that doesn't know what's going on, or?
I am not quite sure what happened on that particular one,
I've
because
not
I got a
gotten that.
phone call that said there's a Habitat dedication, so I,
Yeah, but
Yeah, I got an email.
you got
I get
The
an email
mayor got
from
an email.
Habitat.
I'll double check on,
Yeah, I get
From
it from
Habitat.
Habitat.
Yeah,
And then
I
I saw
think they had
Angela
a-
someplace, and she
Right.
asked me if I was gonna be there.
okay.
I think there was a glitch in their communication on that one, because I got a phone call that said, are you gonna be at Habitat? And I'm like, yeah, and so I ran out there.
I used to get the emails, I don't get it anymore.
I don't.
The only reason I know about this was on the news afterwards.
Yeah,
Been up Thursday at 11.
yeah.
I'll send them
Yeah, send a reminder.
and I'll send them everybody's email to make sure that
Yes.
everyone's on the list.
And last thing is, have we done anything with planning for Veterans Day, or are we just gonna scratch that?
It's on the list.
Pardon?
It's on my list too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were gonna discuss that. We can go ahead and talk about the parade route if you want to. So I've met with a contractor, and fortunately, the CEI was involved in this meeting. And they feel very confident they're gonna have that section of road done, to the extent, what do you say, 80%?
Yeah, I think what his intent was is to have the first,
Would you come up here,
Eddie,
please?
come on up. Put you on the spot.
Yeah, well,
I believe what the contractor's intent is to have the first structural lift of asphalt on, before that time frame. That's his goal anyway.
From Bertha all the way down to Veterans Park?
From Bertha to Jan.
Yes,
To Jan?
Jan's where we stopped right now.
South Jan, that's right.
Yeah.
but that doesn't do the parade any good, only Bertha to Jan.
Well, the parade can continue down its route. We would just line up either down Bertha or down.
Oh, okay.
Or Beulah. We could do the lineups on either one of those roads.
But you expect the paving to be done?
The first
from
lift,
Bertha.
which would be 1.5 inches. I mean, it'll still look like it. It's just, we're gonna put another one over top of it. So they're gonna work diligently because they wanna try to meet this timeline. Me and Tim discussed it. And Tim, what'd you say, August?
Yes, we can make a firm decision first week in August.
So our goal was, let's give them a little bit more time to see how far they get, to make sure we don't run into any more issues. And then if they can pull it off, we're gonna go ahead and plan to have the parade. But if by August 1st we can't pull a firm date, we're gonna pull it and reevaluate and we'll do
And
something
Plan
out
B?
here. We'll go to Plan B, which will be out here,
Yeah.
if everybody's okay with that.
Is that everything on your list? Because he's gonna, okay. Commissioner Ayers?
Yes, ma'am. Met with the city manager the last couple of weeks, often once a week. And we did visit the Habitat for Humanity, our housing units out there. They've got 4 completed, and we got a 5th one almost done, and it's beautiful. All the homes look great, the layouts are great. I think we got about 8 more to go, but
It's
I'm
going
real
to be
proud of
15
Callaway.
total.
Ma'am?
There'll be 15 total.
15 total, so we have 10 more to go. I'm so proud of Callaway for doing that and actually getting those homes in. You guys would be real proud of if you go out there. It's off Comet Drive. Went to the fishing rodeo, fire department, great job. Leisure services, fantastic. It was the first time I've ever gone to one of these and really enjoyed it. It was definitely hot, and I'm glad you guys had that pavilion there. So it really came in handy. We also looked at some of the citizens' complaints. We looked at Michael Drive. We looked at Shikoshi's ditch. Impressive. So it is deep, and it is dangerous. So we did drive by 545 Tyndall Parkway, John Phillips' old property, and that's all I have.
Okay. City Clerk, do you have anything for us tonight? You did go to the conference?
I did, yes. It was a great conference.
Got a lot of knowledge?
Yes.
Perfect.
She brought back some good stuff.
She was showing me a little bit of what she did, so.
Yeah, she brought back some good stuff.
Perfect. Nothing? You done? Well, that gets us to you.
All right. I received an email from Jeff Carter on the Beacon Point situation. He said after sending the demand, it took some time to get it in the right hands, ultimately to the entity's new counsel that they have representing them, which is Scott Remington, and they've had phone conversations set for Thursday morning to discuss whether resolution can be reached or whether the suit will be filed. And he will update me after speaking with him on Thursday. So there's your legal update, Kevin. They can't say nothing because it's a conflict. Okay. Sandy Creek is still an environmental, big surprise. And we thought we were just about to get the spillway environmental approved, and they sent through another set of RFIs last week. So I don't think it's going to take long for us to get the spillway clearance. We are putting together packages for the resiliency money for grant opportunities. There's also a second little pool of money that I'm not going to say outright because I don't want other cities to know, but we're going after a bunch of money in it right now. So hopefully we'll have some additional grant opportunities that are going to come up. The grants they're drying up, people. I mean, right now, I can't get a grant that's not a 50-50 match. And
It's because they're spending all their money on extra holidays.
extra holidays. It was already budgeted.
Yes.
Their personnel. They're just telling people they don't have to come in.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Lift stations, we have started our final lift station has started. It's the one at the end of Kimbrell. That's the one they're going to be raising up. And that'll be 5 of them that we will have completed. And these are all part of the master water and sewer study that we did. And we'll continue on down that list, and that's what we're actually going for mostly right now. I would love to say there's paving grants out there, but there's no such, the word paving and grant just does not, they don't go together. It's almost like I'm cussing at everybody. So we should be under time on the lift stations when it gets done. Sakoshi Ditch, I talked with Joel at the county. That we do not have access, no matter how we look at it. And bigger than not, we do not have the machinery to be able to get in there.
We Callaway.
Yeah, we being Callaway. Joel's got a spider. The county has offered it up. I've sent him maps, and he has pushed it down to Keith Bryant, and Keith Bryant is supposed to be getting it on the schedule as soon as possible. And basically, the county's agreed to come in and assist us with this ditch and maintenance of it. So they'll enter probably off Lois and work their way down from there, where we have access at.
We may have to clear some of the property on Lois for them to get in on.
There might be a little bit, but we can get them access to it without a problem. And they can access from another piece of property too, that's on down there at the end of the fire station, Chief. What street is that? No, not the fire station. It's the one before. What's the road?
Is that Walker?
Yeah, it's Walker, yeah. So we might be able to access off Walker. We got a clear path in there. And
So when you say clean up, explain to us what you're just going to...
so they have what's called a spider.
Right, I understand that, but they're going to just clean the property up and nothing else.
Well, they can only clean the ditch.
Right.
So there is no room to clear paths or anything like that. And the ditch is too deep for us to even get any of our machinery in. We went down and looked at it. We do not have, we can't dip that far down in and be able to clean adequately. So they're gonna just start in and go down and they're just gonna clean it all the way up. It's vegetation is what it is. And we'll go through and see what they can, we'll see what they can do. I'm sure they probably went out and looked at it and went, what did you do, Joel? So, but I'll be checking back with Keith. We played a little phone tag today.
Okay.
And so we'll see, but he's committed to go out there and run that spider down it. And that's gonna be our best bet overall. And the county did offer that it was just gonna be in kind. They work real well with us. Cherry Street's moving right along. We got that intersection at Comet finished up. Comet's finished, right?
Yes,
We got all those structures relocated and shifted.
It's not finished, but all the structures are in and it's back traversable, so, yes, that was a major accomplishment right there.
Yeah. So now we're looking at hopefully we'll smooth on and go down.
It's been running pretty well right now,
Yeah.
so.
They're
I
getting
don't
sticks in the
wanna-
ground.
I don't wanna jinx it, but it's been going pretty good.
Yeah. And so that's what we were hoping for. We knew these two places there between the houses where the roadbed was bad. Roadbed's looking good though, isn't it?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Compaction's all passing, so as we continue to move down.
that's right.
And so we're gonna try to push all the way on down to Bertha.
Bertha, yes.
And then, and they're also forming up in that one area. They got the
For the
curb
curb
and gutter, yeah, the curb
yes, we're-
and gutters are in.
Right.
And so they're pushing. We'll see how far.
Are we ever going to see a schedule?
That's a great
I've
question.
been asking for 2.5 months now.
What do I ask at every meeting? Just confirm that I'm always going, where's my schedule? He was supposed to have sent me a schedule.
And
I
then
knew I should have done.
what's happening with Star in the county?
The last I heard, the county had sent out more,
RFIs.
right, RFIs, and, if I remember correctly, the concern is downstream, the county has a 42-inch pipe, and we're ending with two 30-inch, so.
That ain't going to work?
Yeah, I think that the structure that's there is a bubbler, and I don't know if the designer is trying to convince that bubbler will, I guess, retard enough of the flow that 42-inch pipe can handle the outfall. So, but that's the last I'd heard it was that from the designer.
How about the closure? They had issues with closing that road.
That's the reason.
Okay.
That was they're not, I guess, sold on the idea of the design.
Because this is an issue with design, it's going to be more than 1 or 2 days.
Yes.
He's talking about the length.
Yeah, the length of the closure.
Yeah, they said 4
Right.
days, and there's no way 4 days is gonna happen.
No, there's no possible way.
I know that, yeah.
That we can get that accomplished in a few days. So, but that's all I know where it's at this point. It's in the designer's court right at the moment.
So we're going to have a change order.
I don't think so.
I
don't know how you're going to reduce from what we're doing down to that.
Well, we can't reduce our size.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And so I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what the bubbler was.
It's going to be interesting at best.
You want to explain what a bubbler is?
It's all the pipes converge into a structure that's fairly deep, and then the water has to rise. You'll have to back up, rise the level in the structure, and then it just bubbles out the top once it gets to enough pressure from before it to push that water that high. So it will, in the pipes that we have, they're gonna hold a certain amount of water. It's kind of just like staging.
It's like a retention.
Right.
Yep, so that's Cherry Street. Thank you, Eddie, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Just make sure you didn't want to explain anything else. So I met with our turnkey pavers, took them to all of our sites, looked at everything, and the JH Cruise issue is becoming a little bit more of an issue than we thought. They looked at it, and we're going to pull a core sample on it because it looks like the base underneath it, it's non-existent.
I'm not surprised.
If we do that, then we're going to have to excavate that 6,000 square foot area, at which point then we would have to come back and put probably crushed concrete in it to re-secure the base and then overlay it, and he's getting me a price on that right now.
I would think the base on most of that part of that road is not there.
It's just, that's where all the water goes. That's what it is. It's low, and the base has failed. So he's supposed to have me a quote this week to see what it's going to take. And last but not least, I just threw this one on here because a lot of people, for some reason, are saying Nexite didn't do anything for us. So I'm going to kind of set the record straight. Our Aldi's came out of Nexite.
Yeah.
The Whataburger came out of Nexite. The new hotel down by McDonald's came out of Nexite. That North Hotel, that Hampton, that's all the way up on the north end, that never would build, they went out and found a developer and then presented it to the Hampton Inn that they had somebody that would buy it and would go ahead and start construction, and that pushed them over the edge so that they're now under construction. The Rib Crib came from them, Slim Chickens came through them, and the big development there behind Walmart that the Klotz Group had developed, but then they pulled out because of the financial issues, that all came through Nexite. Those are just the ones that I can think of right off the hand of the ones that they were very instrumental in bringing. And then some of the other ones they did help us out with, and they were helping us fill Beacon Point at the time when we thought we were going to be ready. They were talking to some big boxes for us. There's not going to be a big box in there now. That end parcel is now going to be split up into 4 or 5 different individual smaller businesses. So,
It's sad.
but those are the main ones that Nexite actually did bring in, and they were very instrumental in helping me with a couple of other large developments. I can't list at the moment, but I will later.
But their contract has expired and we're not renewing.
That is correct. I think we only had 1 year that we paid them full contract. Remember the first 2 or 3 years, the chamber paid our portion for the first 2 to 3. Well, it was going to be 1 or 2 years, and then because of Hurricane Michael, they went ahead and picked up. This Bay County Chamber of Commerce paid for an economic developer to work for us. We were one of the, and you can ask Nexite, we're one of the few communities that actually utilized them very heavily. A lot of people didn't, and there was a lot of properties that they could have really repped out. They had I know for a fact they had 2 or 3 big boxes that was looking at over in Parker, but Parker wasn't participating, so they wasn't going to rep in a property that they
had one in Callaway for that died.
Yeah. And so I think we only paid 1, maybe 2 years of full price, which was like $6,000-7,000 is what we paid them. But they do still have all of our data and everything that I have access to. And I just told them at this point right now, we're not in a position, we're really running out of properties. We've got a couple that we can deal with. We do have Gulf Coast Parkway coming up, but St. Joe owns all that, so they're gonna have to make decisions on that. And then, I would think that, once 22 gets widened, it might be worth to look at them to see what they could bring in down 22.
Most of
But
that's
they will.
county though, right?
Yeah, some of it is, some of it isn't, but we would advocate for them to
Right.
annex in. But yeah, there's a long story behind the Aldis, if anybody wants to hear about it. But we had a handshake agreement with Aldi's that they were gonna put the first store in Callaway. The problem is there were 5 different parcel property owners that they were purchasing by proxy, meaning Aldi's wasn't going up saying, hey, we're gonna put an Aldi's in, so they were trying to secure the property, so, as if one person finds out, then the price, that sucker's gonna skyrocket through the roof, so they had to purchase all these. In the meantime, their second site that they were looking at was in Lynn Haven. And so, but that was site ready. And they actually did come to us and said, we agreed we'd put the first one there, but we have a parcel ready. And I said, go build it. It's not gonna affect us. And so the one in Lynn Haven actually got built, but it was respectful that they came to us and said, hey, we promised we'd give you the first one since you worked with us so well. But we ended up with the Aldi, so that would work. That's all I got, unless I missed anything.
Okay. Okay, we will read the announcements. Okay, so now we have to make an adjustment here. It says July 3rd, all, city offices will be closed. Now it will be the 3rd and the 6th. So the 3rd and the 6th, city offices will be closed. Does it look like we'll have a planning board meeting on July 7th?
Probably not.
Okay, probably not. And then our next commission meeting will be July 14th, right here. I can't think of anything else that would be happening in these 2 weeks.
First Friday's going to be on the 10th.
On the 10th,
Yes,
yes. Anybody else think of anything? I think that's all I'm aware of. So we'll go on to public participation. So who wants to speak about, yes, ma'am?
Kathy Christodoulou, 224 Secoshie Drive. I just have a couple of questions for clarification about the ditch cleaning. What is the timeline? Like, how soon is that going to be starting?
I don't know. I asked Joel, I told him we really needed it expedited. And of course, Commissioner Robert Carroll, County Commissioner, he's involved too, and I've been talking with him about helping me hurry it up. So I'm honestly, what I'm waiting on now is I'm waiting for Keith Bryant, who is the Assistant County Manager, which is going to be handling the scheduling. I'm waiting on him to let me know when they might be able to get it on their schedule.
Okay, and then is this going to be an annual thing to where it's going to be maintained, or are we going to have to come back every 5 years and beg for help?
I have asked him to put it on his schedule permanently.
Okay.
Now, I
Annual?
don't know what that means. I don't know if that's 2 times a year, 1 time a year, but I will find out what that is.
Okay.
Because if you ask us, we run our schedule once a month. But I don't know how the county runs theirs. It's a lot bigger, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do twice a year or,
Twice a year would be great.
yeah. I would hope it would be twice.
Twice a decade would be great.
You're gonna love seeing that machine. That thing is wild. It
Yeah.
has 6 legs.
I'm really interested to see that. Okay, and then, yeah, the annual thing, that would be really good, because the hurricane season is here, so if we get a heavy rain event, we got to worry about the backup, so the sooner that can start, but thank you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you.
We get it.
Who else wants to speak? Mr. Shaner?
Ron Shaner, 711 Kevin Circle. You mentioned the property tax thing, I, for one, don't like my home being on the easy, the low fruit farm to pick on, we've got 3 different, 15 different people that can make bad decisions. You seem to do a pretty fair job, What my Callaway end of it, it's not what scares me. It's the other two, the county and the school. And they're all tied to my home, There's 15 people that can make bad decisions there, 5. Then we got the county, there are 5, and then the school board, there are 5. They can all make stupid decisions, and, my home's on the hook for it, or, the home is. I don't want no tax connected to my home, none. There's a different way of doing it. You start down the street, and if it's closed off, you go a different way. And if that's closed off, you go a different way. And the same with these taxes. There's different ways of getting them, besides, putting people's homes on the line for it. And that's just, that's the way I look at it. I mean, it's just, I got 15 people deciding whether I can stay in my home or not, or whether I gotta find a refrigerator box to live in. So, anyway, I observed what went on here tonight. You make decisions. But if the carrot gets big enough, you grab it. That's what happened here tonight. You got rules, you make rules and all these regulations, but when the carrot gets big enough, you go for it. What you decided, prior don't count. So, it's interesting. Thank you.
Mr. Shaner. Who else wants to speak? Yes, ma'am?
Karen Custer, 216 Lanny Road Drive. Mayor Henderson, people have asked me why I haven't attended some of the commission meetings lately. I was a trustee of VFW Post 8205 until about 2 weeks ago, and their meetings are the second Tuesday. And I was also on the board of directors of Kiwanis Club, and they met on the fourth Tuesday. And so that's why I haven't been here for a while. But that's all over with now, so I can start coming back to commission meetings. And I've also attended very few events since I was in the hospital in May. So you may not see me at fishing rodeos and things, but eventually I'll be back to being okay. I was unable to walk 10 feet and talk at the same time, which is usually a joke, but I really couldn't. So anyway, we're getting better. A different subject. On June 19th, I published a Facebook post on the Beacon of Bay County about flock cameras. So far, I've had 2,727 views, and I just emailed this to you, so you don't have to take a bunch of notes. There were a lot of comments, and there's a tremendous amount of interest in flock cameras around the country, especially in having them removed. And so as of a few hours ago, 890 people signed the Change.org petition to remove the flock cameras from Bay County. And so there's a lot of noise that's starting. It's going to be something on Saturday, a protest and all that stuff. It has nothing to do with me, I'm just mentioning it. But Mayor Henderson, please be so kind as to tell us who authorized the lease and installation of the flock cameras that are in Callaway? Did you know about or approve the installation before it was done? Did the city manager know and approve the installation before it was done? Did the Callaway Commission approve installation of these cameras? If none of you approved them, how did we get them? How many were leased and installed? When were they leased and installed? What was the cost to lease and install? Who selected the locations? Who installed them? And what's the source of funds for the lease and installation? And what's the cost of the annual subscription cost? And then where do the funds come from to pay all that next year? The most important, how soon can we get rid of them? Because of protests are starting. The last comment, Flock has plans to add the capability of live feed and 15-second videos when you pull up to a camera. That's kind of creepy to me. It's kind of like searching your car without probable cause. Why don't you take the video?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I will,
So, anyway.
May I ask a question?
Yes, do you have answers to those
I
questions?
got a lot of
Can I
answers.
ask a question real quick? What is a flock camera?
Aren't they the ones that read license plates?
It's license plate readers, but they're keeping it,
Okay.
yeah. So most, a lot of times the police departments will come and advocate that we put them in.
I
We
didn't,
don't have to permit.
the last page is mine. Anyway.
I'll do my best to answer
Okay.
most of these questions. The sheriff's department, they pay for it. They do the installation, they do everything. It's in the public right-of-way. And so the legality behind it, I don't know. They're our sheriff's office, but there was never an agreement signed with the city for anything that had to do with the multiple flock cameras that were around. And so expense-wise, there's no expense to us.
Yeah, you'd have to check the Bay County and the sheriff's office.
Yeah,
budget. And
it's
a
all
lot of
coming
the
through
police
the Bay County
departments always
Sheriff's
advocate
Office.
it, but I know they're expensive.
Yeah. They cost $2,500 a month.
No,
Yeah.
they're more to install.
The reason that I know that is because the city of Callaway actually has one. We did, and it was, I think, $2,500. We had such a horrible outbreak of people that were dumping. We were attempting to use trail cams, and trail cams just wasn't working. We couldn't get good, clear enough videos and stuff like that. So we actually did use a flock camera. We put it in different locations where we had illegal dumping. They proved not to be as effective as we thought it was. We don't have the contract anymore. In fact, they sent a renewal, and I've sent one. There's one sitting right now outside of City Hall. So when people drive out, it'll give you, basically, it'll zoom in and give you a picture of the license plate. There's no video or anything like that.
But that's Callaway's or the sheriff's?
It does, it belongs to, well, we have a lease agreement on it, yes. We were trying to attempt to see if we could catch some of the illegal dumping that was going on, which, I mean, that is rampant around here. And so, but, we successfully got some, but none of it ever led to anything that we could prosecute over.
Is that actually a flock camera or just a camera for surveillance?
No, it's a flock camera.
It
It's
is
on their
a flock
system,
camera,
yeah.
okay.
You can go in and check if we have some illegal dumping, we'd go out and check it, but it was not as effective as what we thought it would be, so we terminated the contract. They haven't picked it up yet. And it's sitting actually outside of City Hall, and I believe the battery's dead on it. They wanted to, we could have upgraded and got one that had a solar panel. That just draws way too much attention to what we were doing, so we were using it off battery power, and we'd have to go out and pull a battery and stick a new one on it. They have little batteries that come with it, but it's, that was just strictly, that's what we were utilizing it for.
And it's gonna go away
Yeah,
as soon as they pick it up.
yeah. But as far as, all the cameras and the locations, all that was basically determined by the sheriff's office. I don't think we were even notified where they were gonna go. There was really never any notification.
There's only one in Callaway.
No.
No? Well, one that I knew of.
Is it for traffic control?
It's-
No, it doesn't give speed or anything like that.
It's more crime prevention,
Crime prevention?
Yeah.
and especially more so on the beach.
Yeah. So
And they're all over
I'll be
the state. They're not
more than
only
happy to
county
answer
stuff.
if there's something more specific that I can answer. I'll do the best I can. But there was never, it doesn't affect our budget. It doesn't, we didn't have any say-so in what the sheriff's office did with their cameras.
Yes, sir.
Martin Vossler, 6303 Wallace Road. To answer the question of what the flock camera cost is, I know that cost. I can tell you what that cost is. That's our freedom. Get those things out, please. My license plate number is 9101.
We already know.
4 digits.
I'm sorry, I had to do that, I'm sorry.
They are a sacrifice of our freedoms. I've had very bad things happen to me, very bad things happen to my family members, and I would not trade our freedoms to have that camera find that person who did that. Not at all. Never.
Would somebody else like to comment on anything? Yes, sir.
David Augustus, 6609 Prudence Street. Madam Mayor, I'd like to take this time to recognize Commissioner Griggs, as he alluded to earlier, even though he didn't say the exact words about his final time at a fishing rodeo. As we know, he's going to be moving on after November. I'd like to take this time to recognize him. And the audience here, those watching live, and those that will watch the city video later on at their own time, saw that he and I have had our disagreements. Tonight we disagreed on two different things, but at the same time, it doesn't undo, in my view, the overall good he has done for our city and the 8+ years he has served as commissioner. I mean, I've had the honor of meeting Mrs. Griggs when they come in and shop where I work at, and when I talk with him, you know, he never brings up city business, but sometimes I will. I'll bring it up to him since he's a commissioner and I'm a citizen, and he's always been kind enough to listen to me. And if he's ever disagreed with me, he's never told me that personally, and he's never said it here. But I think the best thing he and Mrs. Griggs ever did was what all of our neighbors did in the days and weeks after Hurricane Michael. He was a fellow Callaway neighbor, and his missus was one as well. They helped their own Callaway neighbors as well. Even whenever he had to be here to help the city continue running until we could get some semblance more of functioning than what we already had during those days, if he wasn't there to help his neighbors, Mrs. Griggs was. And Mr. Griggs, I know, like I said earlier, we've had our disagreements. Tonight we did. But I personally want to thank you for your service, and I ask that during your remaining months you'll continue putting the citizens first. And I know Mr. Griggs is not perfect. I'm not perfect. And if he was perfect, I'm sorry to say this, but somebody would nail him to a cross if he was perfect. And we only know there was only one perfect man, and we know what happened to him. But Mr. Griggs, thank you for your service, and I hope during these remaining months you'll continue to serve the people in the best way you can. Put Callaway's people first, because they are the real leaders of Callaway. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Who else wants to make a comment on anything? Ms. Langston?
Well, I was told a few minutes ago to use my 3 minutes, so here I am. Use my 3 minutes. So I guess I was talking to some citizens and about the fishing rodeo Saturday, and I know that we had 2 commissioners that weren't able to attend, and we had 2 commissioners and the mayor that attended. Well, apparently at this rodeo for our community, with our kids, we had a commissioner who wanted to talk to the citizens, had some, I guess, derogatory things to say about other commissioners, had some disrespectful things to say to our mayor. I think that's very unprofessional, and I think that for effective public service requires professionalism, accountability, and mutual respect. Public officials should refrain from disparaging colleagues in conversations with citizens and instead focus on constructive dialogue. Holding oneself to the same standards expected of others is essential to maintaining public confidence and trust in local government. And before criticizing others, it is important for all public officials to reflect on their own conduct, because we know we shouldn't have to get up here and talk about people's conduct, because we should be all adults here. You know, when I say own conduct, have out public arrest records and ensure that they are holding themselves to the same standards that they expect of others. And I just think it's horrible to go to a community event where we have our children, and we have a commissioner saying disparaging things about the two commissioners that didn't attend. I just can't wrap my head around it, and I don't even understand why he would think this is okay. And it's not you, Mr. Birdsell, so I just want, or Commissioner Birdsell, I just wanted you to know that.
I knew that wasn't me. But thank you.
Right, no, she said two, is there two?
Okay, did anybody else want to, yeah, there were, I think everybody was there except Mr. Pelletier.
Well, then you were in attendance being talked about.
Pardon?
That's okay, we don't need to, that's fine. Did anybody else have a comment they wanted to make? No? If not, I know this has been a long meeting, but I think we had a lot of good discussion on things. We passed out, city commissioner, city manager gave us a lot of information. We talked about tax information, so I think we discussed a lot of important things. So thank you all for sticking with us the whole time. I hope everybody has a good rest of the evening. What's left of it, well, I'll go home and go to bed. And hopefully the next meeting won't be quite as long. So we'll look forward to seeing y'all there. Everybody have a happy 4th of July. Be careful with your fireworks.